Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh shit, sorry.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
No, Bjorn, I am so happy. Like, oh my god,
Sorry.
so unlistenable.
The thing is, like we talk about you come up quite often, and you just like
You're like a legend on this podcast. I'm going to point out.
so
like,
many stories go. Oh, our mate Bjorn.
Our mate Bjorn said this, or like he's so
This is a
sincere,
perfect
and he said this,
demonstration
and it was just like they are now experiencing exactly what we mean. Plus, you're drunk.
I am a bit drunk, I must admit. I don't have time to get dinner. I need some dinner at some point.
Oh my word!
Oh fuck me! I can't wait to listen to this.
This is the quickest editing turnaround I've got to do for a long time. And I don't know what I'm going to do.
I think at the beginning of the podcast, you just have to have a 5-minute just intro of you just apologising profusely.
I'm so sorry, but consider this art. We have broken the podcast formula of having something you want to listen to. This is something you don't want to listen to.
Oh no.
When you want a 69, but all you get is a 68.
Yeah.
Doing nothing but licking
Yeah.
your left thigh.
What that man said. Maybe a little one?
Hey, kid, do you wanna? Look, I've got some good shit here. Do you wanna get some of this? It's some of the finest Colombian pot topic. Get in there. It's good. You'll love it, kid. You know, you show it to your friends. They'll love it too. Yeah, go on. This one's free. This one's on me. Go on, boy. Enjoy.
Deze ark dop pot top hooth oot ook le de ni a ol hell lel. And welcome to the Pot Topic podcast.
Was that it backwards?
No, that was a Twin Peaks style, bitch. And welcome to the Pot Topic podcast. I'm your host, Tom. With me, our other hosts. We have Johnny.
Hello.
We have Dom, Captain Sickbeard Dom.
Hello there.
We have Taron.
Yeah, what's going on?
And we have with his first Virgin appearance,
Looking vaguely confused.
the legendary Bjorn.
Soupy twist.
On this podcast, we have several pots full of topics from the host, the community, and somewhere. And we pull them out at random and chat about them and talk bollocks for 2 hours whilst drinking whiskey. Captain Sickbeard, you brought it today.
I have bought in a litre of Talisker Darkstorm.
Oh,
It's just under a litre, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's just because I drunk some. Had to try it.
No, that's fair.
and did you know that Talisker
is
is the only distillery on Talisker?
Yep, that is true.
It's an
Go,
island,
what are you
the only
doing?
one
What are you
called
doing?
Talisker
Give
as
us the
well.
pop, Dom.
and it's the only one.
Oh, pop.
Made us wait for that one.
So this should all fit in a teapot because the teapot says
It does say one litre
litre.
there, yeah.
Perfect.
The teapot topic is that? Yeah, that's the pot topic teapot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Yep,
I
it's
didn't know
our
this.
decanter.
Decanter.
Does the
I'm
teapot?
hardly straight off the bat. Right, so this podcast is recorded on the 15th of September for release on the 17th. Fuck, I've got a quick turnaround
You
time.
do,
Shit.
son.
So it's on for Taron.
Almost a litre.
Perfect.
Okay, here we
Right,
go.
get boring.
Yeah, stop pouring up.
You know when vessels are a different shape, different height, particularly narrow or stumpy, and they don't look like they should or be able to hold the amount that it says that they do.
Yeah.
And then you transfer something which looks, it just is bigger. There's just no doubt about it. And you pour it into it and somehow it's the same and it makes no sense.
It's a bit like Sasha Grey.
I was going to go with cats, but Sasha Grey works.
Pervert.
Would you care for some Talisker? You're a whiskey drinker, aren't you?
I'm a fucking whiskey
You're a
drinker.
fucking whiskey
Well,
drinker.
I mean, he's on the podcast.
Yeah.
You have to drink whiskey.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. That's
Dear,
very good.
Okay, so
Very
who
gracious of you.
has been
Coasters.
up to what?
Yeah,
Has anyone
over there.
how have our weeks been? Fortnights.
What we've been up to? Well, first of all, I finished Unfinished Swan. So I finished it.
What's that?
Yeah, it's a video game.
It's
fine.
So it's now
Giant
a finished
Sparrow game.
one.
Yeah, it's now a finished one.
Okay.
It is actually in the story as well. Spoilers. For a game that came out about 10 years ago. Played a bit of Monster Hunter Stories, which is Pokemon, but you kill the mum of the Pokemon you're about to take, which is fucking darker than Monster Hunter ever was.
I mean, Monster Hunter is already pretty dark.
Yeah, you go out there and kill things for sport and clothing, whereas Monster Hunter Stories is you go out, kill a monster's mum, and while it's in egg form, steal the egg, incubate it.
I mean, either
Then
like
become
to follow the Pokemon analogy, it's you're making Cubones.
Yes.
Or
Constantly.
to look at another way, you are Bruce Wayne and you're going to find your Robins. You're making your Robins.
Other than that, it was just playing Twilight Imperium with you, Taryn.
Yes.
Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, sure. Twilight Imperium is a wicked game. It's
Board game.
it is a board game. It seems like really dense and very complicated. And it's not helped by the fact that all the tutorials of the how to play on YouTube and whatnot, like the shortest is about half an hour. But most of them are about an hour or more. The rule book is 44 pages, dense pages long. It seems really complex, but once you get into it, it's not. Like, once you start playing, the logic of the game systems just kind of take over. And the idea of the game is everyone is a race in space. And
Space race, you might say.
and yeah, essentially, you're vying to take control of a fallen Imperium. This, in game terms, you want to be the first to 10 victory points. But yeah, I mean, I was playing, I played, like, I can't remember the name of them, but my race were a bunch of fucking stoned hippie lizards.
Yeah, fitting,
who just like
Very
talking.
fitting.
They're all about diplomacy. Like, Tom, you were the Navy.
I was insects. Well, it's basically like Starship Troopers, like alien bug things,
Yeah.
which just killed constantly.
Right,
Or not
you never
really.
really got round to it, though, did you?
I
Until
did.
the
I
end.
had
Oh,
a
you
big
did.
fuck off space battle. I got all my ships and decimated Andy, who could have won the game 4 tones ago, but just wanted a fight.
Space battle.
Yeah.
Space battle.
Space battle.
Yeah.
With my war sons. They're not Death Stars, they're war sons.
Nice.
But no, it's wicked. Like, the second you start playing it, like, there are a lot of rules, but none of them are too difficult in and of themselves. It's just a matter of just kind of staying on top of things and, like, remembering turn order. But the second you start playing it, it makes perfect sense, and it is basically a game that allows you to tell your own space opera.
Yeah, it's basically like Star Trek. You have politics, trade, war,
Yeah, technology.
bureaucracy, technology, just...
So you're okay with space operas?
Oh, yes.
You're not a fan of rock operas, but you're okay with space operas.
Hey, I like rock opera.
You hate rock operas.
Sabotage.
But you once said you hated Iron Maiden because they sounded like rock opera.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'll just say anything about Iron Maiden, though, because let's face it, they're Iron Maiden.
That they are. let's end that there.
But yeah, no, Twilight was Imperium. Twilight Imperium was wicked. I think, we started play shortly after midday. I don't know what time we finished.
It was a 7.5 hour long fight. Or game, should I say.
7.5 hours, and it didn't feel like it. And I didn't even come close to winning. I completely forgot about victory points. I was just enjoying, like, space expansion and just watching some of the politics that went on between, like, the players. Say, well, look, I'm going to do this, but this doesn't mean this. It's like, I tell you what, if you allow me to do this, you can, like, as a show of good faith, you can do this. And just watching that shit
And
unfold.
then that being in contradiction of what they've just told another player next to them, but they've forgotten.
Yes.
Which has then caused them to go to war.
Is this a bit like Space Risk
fucking,
then?
that's good. Yeah, it's Space Risk. It is
So-
definitely Space Risk.
So it's like real diplomacy, though.
Oh, it's absolutely real diplomacy. You're making bargains that mean nothing in the game rules because you can just lie. You can literally go, yeah, you can do that, but then you've broken all faith with everyone else around the table if you do go back on something. Oh, it's really good.
It is. I can't wait to play it again.
If you've got a day to waste, it's well worth it. If you've got a weekend to waste, you can do the long version.
which I would love to
several
do
days.
next time.
As in, you play a game, you go to bed, you wake up, you continue the game.
Yes. It will take you 2 days
So,
minimum.
what, you go to bed and then you stay up all night thinking about your next move.
Yes.
It's just-
There
But that move when you wake up is the best damn move of the whole game.
Or it's
Yeah.
like
Better
overnight
be.
on the phone texting people, making plans for the next morning. It's just like, I promise you.
So, Pot Topic highly recommends.
So
Twilight
recommend.
Imperium.
But yeah, I think there's a Let's Play. There's a group of people playing it. The video on YouTube is something like 18 hours long.
Oh, God.
Or something like that.
no.
It can go.
Go watch the Shut Up, Sit Down video
Yes.
if you're slightly interested. Shut Up, Sit Down, do a nice, succinct and story-led review
Yes.
of this play.
They do a review, but they also do like a Let's Play, which I
Yeah.
don't know, is about 50 minutes, but it's like severely cut down. That game ran
It
like
shows
10
none
hours
of the
or
actual
something.
like interactions of board games. It's just like a Big Brother diary room style
It's great fun.
interview with the players.
And that's pretty much all I've been up to. I mean, other than that, I have fashioned myself a lat pull down bar at work, just to keep my muscles working. But I've
I thought you meant you built a like DIY flap you could serve drinks off of on the crutch.
DIY flap.
Lat, not lap.
no, I mean using a rope and a system of pulleys and a couple of
Ropey system of pulleys.
a ropey system of pulleys and a couple of well chosen knots. I've created a workout thing at work. And that has been, fuck me, it has been a boring couple of weeks, other than Twilight Imperium, which was fucking amazing. Oh, that was the other thing. The next day, so after Twilight Imperium, we got smashed. Which I think pretty much goes without saying. But the next day, there's a point where everyone else had gone to bed. Heather had just woken up, and it's just like, if I go to sleep now, that's it, I'm down for hours.
Yeah.
And, that's just gonna fuck Heather over. Or I'm gonna have to be woken up, and I'm gonna be so grumpy. So we stayed up watching shit, and we watched. So Suicide Squad is terrible. Don't bother.
Breaking news.
I mean, yeah, but you know when people say, "Oh no, it's terrible," don't see it, and you don't you think, "Oh, okay, it's just like it just hadn't been, they haven't pulled it off," and then you go, and it actually feels actively terrible.
Yeah.
It was staggering.
It's one of the reasons was because they fired their original editing team and then got the people who cut the trailer
Yes.
to cut the
Yeah,
film.
that's right. Isn't it?
Yeah. I mean,
forgot about
as you can go watch the Bex's review on Tristabytes on YouTube. She says it's like watching two movies.
Yeah.
Because you've got like the director's vision, and then you've got the producers coming in going, "No, this is what we should do with it." And it's, but I mean, other than that, we rewatched Moana, which I still fucking love. It is a great film. But I did realise in the first act, there's a case to be made for the fact that Moana might be a religious extremist. So that's
So if you're into that sort of thing, and Disney,
so yeah, I think Disney is supporting religious extremism because
it's not like Disney.
It's
not
in
like Disney
in
at
in
all.
a Bangladeshi sweatshop, there's a case to be made.
But yeah, no, it's been pretty slow couple of weeks.
Cool. Anyone else then?
Yeah,
Okay, I'll go.
yeah, go for it.
So I've just come back from Hull doing a weird South Korean immersive theatre thing over 4 stories. It's called One Day Maybe. If you're in Hull, go see it. It's quite good.
3-dimensional interactive theatre in Hull.
Yes. Well, it's a 4-story building, and you start off in like modern day consumerist South Korea, and then you go through a maze, and then you end up in 1980s Korea when there was this massive riot where a load of people were arrested and then disappeared.
It sounds fascinating.
Yeah.
Is it a bit like Punch Drunk? Do you know the Punch
Yeah,
Drunk
no,
theatre
it's
company?
it's Dreamthink Speak, so it's
Okay.
similar to Punch Drunk. So yeah, I did that for a month. Then I'm
So you're out of hell. I mean, Hull.
Hull. Yes, I'm out of
Yeah.
City of culture.
yes, the city of we paid to get what allegedly. Yeah, and tomorrow I'm gathering all my tools up in London and taking them to my workshop in Portsmouth. Like all my big tools.
Or the workshop.
My work.
Sneak Dante's. What was
Stealth
it?
Inferno.
Stealth Inferno. Yeah.
I've also got on this the end of the month. I've got an interview for a 2-year blacksmithing design and making course.
Nice,
Sweet.
I really hope I get.
nice.
Wicked.
I also I hit podcast entropy, where basically all the podcasts I listened to. I'd either listened to everything, or there were ones I'd started and just sort of gone, yeah, they're not really good anymore.
Yeah.
So I sort of put out a call, and now one of them I've really started listening to, because their podcasts are like 5-6 hours long.
Oh.
It's those conspiracy guys.
Oh. Is it just a couple of guys dismantling? Because I was just talking about. Are they into it? Can't tell me.
I don't know. Like they
Excitement.
they do tons of research on So I listened to one about JP Morgan and like the guy JP Morgan and how his family throughout history have always been the money men in the background and fucking everyone over. And then at the end of it, they sort of do are we on the fence or off the fence of this conspiracy? So I think some of them they're serious about and going like, oh shit, man, this is Illuminati confirmed. Right, and then some of them are just like, honestly, like they were. Another one I listened to was about the Titanic, and because they're 3 Irish guys, they were sitting there going like, honestly, like we're all Irish, and we all admit, like the guys in the dock who were paid off to keep the conspiracy going, like
to weaken the hull.
It wasn't. It was the switching the ship. It's just like you wouldn't.
It was all a
You
setup.
wouldn't be able to keep that secret. Some guy.
Sorry, what conspiracy is this?
Okay.
It's the subplot, the one that involves a U-boat.
Did somebody put a fast one and like?
So the conspiracy is the
Steer
Olympic.
the downturn in the Irish economy.
The Olympic, which was one of the sister ships of the Titanic, was travelling down
The Dire Strait.
with Solent Canal or something, and basically there was a Navy ship in the way, and there was a bit of an argument of I have right of way, no, I have right of way because I'm bigger and I can't really turn, and so the Navy ship, which was designed for ramming other ships to sink them, went into the side of the Olympic. The Olympic didn't sink, but was seriously fucked up to the point the insurers went, yeah, we're not going to insure you anymore, just in case. And so because the Titanic was still being built, some people say that there was a bit of a switcheroo with the Olympic and the Titanic, and then they may have accidentally, on purpose, crashed the Titanic into an iceberg on purpose to claim on the insurance.
Wow.
So, it's a huge...
I love shit like that.
Oh, you
Listen
have
to
sold this podcast.
Yeah, the conspiracy... Yeah, those conspiracy guys.
Yes.
And
Yeah. I mean, they didn't though, did they? That's the point.
that's I don't know. There's also the idea that because like JP Morgan was
Conspira
supposed to
didn't
sail
see.
on it...
Sorry, what was it?
We're having our own pitiful pun off over here while Dom's telling an interesting story.
Like, there's supposed to be like the whole thing like JP Morgan was supposed to be on the boat, but he got an upset stomach and didn't get on. He
He lost at that game. Get that game of poker, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly. He lost the game of
I
poker.
know. Classic.
And-
And he's one of the best poker players in the world. That would never have happened.
And he only had a steerage class ticket. What the fuck? That's what I know. How did he only have a steerage class ticket? He's JP fucking Morgan.
Well,
Third class.
it was so that he went below the radar, as it were.
Oh, he
I
was
mean,
trying to
you
sneak
don't
back
stay rich
into
by spending
America.
money.
True.
Exactly. Or being nice.
Okay. Cool.
Cool. I'll have to check him out. Which reminds me, I need to track it down. But there's a really good sort of mathematical extrapolation of how long a conspiracy can stay.
The grand conspiracy equation.
Yeah. Which so like because that one's so old and people haven't just outright come and said no, this happened. It's probably not.
No one's going to come forward now.
Yeah. Well, or they would have.
Yeah.
Already, it would have leaked.
Yeah.
You can't keep shit like that secret.
The amount of people exponentially increases the amount of...
And the cost.
The less time it would take. So if you have, say, 1,000 people, it's like, it'll be about a week before someone goes, hi guys,
Yeah. I mean, I was reading a breakdown of a breakdown and shutdown of the whole "we didn't land on the moon; it was all staged." And it's one of those things. When you add a simple factor like money, it would have cost more
to fake it
than to go there. Plus, Russia definitely would have found out, and they would have said,
Yeah, that's right.
They're lying because that's what Russia did at the time.
And there's also a receiver or a transmitter there.
Retro reflector.
One of those.
Yeah.
That basically bounces the light back when they shine a little laser up to measure the distance of the moon to the Earth, right? To track how that thing is doing.
How far away it's drifted.
Kind of thing, which is so many miles a year or something, which sounds like a lot. I mean, like if I was standing next to a cliff and it had moved several miles in a year, I'd be like, shit.
That's a pretty quick cliff.
That cliff is quick, yo. But being the moon, it probably doesn't make a great deal of difference. It does make some.
I'm happy you're on the podcast. I love the way you talk.
It does make some. But yeah, so how would that have got there?
Retro reflectors. I'm going to say aliens.
I mean,
it's chemtrails, let's face it. Anyway, what else have you been up to?
Those Hungarians,
because we could get stuck in this hole for ages.
Okay, today I got a really nice comment from my parallel parking. Basically,
Okay, go on.
No, it was really because it threw me. Like I went before coming
How
here.
far did it throw you?
To the curb.
To the curb, yeah.
Were you standing near the curb?
I was.
Oh, wow.
And perfectly flush with it.
No, it was.
Go on.
It was just one of these things. Basically, my street really shit parking, but I'm really good at parallel parking, so I can get into a space and have like an inch either end of my car. And basically, I was sort of got out my car, grabbed my rucksack, and then this little old lady came out of her house and was like, I just want to tell you, I'm so happy you parked like that, because the guy who owns the van there always parks like a cunt.
Was it actual words?
Well, she said twat, but but yeah, so he always parks, and then he brings another car and he then moves his van and strategically parks like a dick so he can park next to his house. So I'm really glad that you managed to sneak your car in there and fuck up his day.
I love this lady.
And I was just like, hi, thanks.
She sounds like a cool old lady.
Yeah. I like that lady. And then the last one was fuck Death Proof, the Netflix original film, because it was shit.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
What was
What's
it?
it called?
Proof. Oh, Death Note.
Proof. Oh, Death Note.
Death Note. Yeah.
Not Death Proof.
Death Proof is a Tarantino film.
Yeah. All right.
That's a great film.
Yeah, that is.
I mean, of course it is. It's got Kurt Russell.
Tarantino film.
Kurt Russell. I've got a soft spot for Kurt Russell.
I've got a particular hard spot for Kurt Russell.
I mean,
the perfect mix of cheese and beef.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
He's a Philly steak on film.
the 1982 The Thing is
Oh, fuck yeah.
is superb.
But yeah.
Yeah, fuck that. Yeah, I haven't watched it. I didn't like the anime, so I won't even get round to it.
Just don't watch it. Like,
Don't encourage him, guys.
don't. Like, if they want to leave it open and make a second film. Just
Fuck them.
the less people who watch it.
If you're curious, pirate it.
Yeah.
Pot Topic Podcast recommends pirating Death Note.
I have not bothered.
We give our blessing
not
for
at all.
pirating shit things.
Not because I'm morally righteous, but because I just can't invest in a poor user experience and potentially a poor end result, and therefore having to admit defeat that I've wasted my time and it's all my fault.
That's a reasonable way of looking at it.
Why try anything you might fail?
I tell you what did it. This was back in the 56k dial-up days, and I think I attempted to download a film. What a fool! And I can't remember what it was now, but it was not what it said it was, and it was dubbed in Spanish.
You just won the Kazaa jackpot.
I will tell you how long it took to download. I will tell you how long it took to download. It took a week.
A week.
Yeah.
Continuous.
A whole week. Well, you say continuous when the computer turned off. Obviously it stopped. Because it's dialed up, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cool.
But that just did it. And I'm like, never again.
Oh yeah, they're gone are the days of having to wait a day to download some a song or some 3-minute porn videos.
Yeah, some
Which
shitty.
stopped quickly when you just downloaded one and then, oh, this sounds interesting. That's child porn. How do I burn my hard drive?
That doesn't sound
For
good.
Christmas, I would like a new hard drive.
Oh, Kazar was fucking rotten with it. Anyway,
was it?
And Lime.
All right, let's move on.
Yeah. So, John, have you been up to anything interesting?
Yes, I will try and go through these efficiently. I would just like to say, you talking about Kazaa reminded me that about year 9, I guess it was, when we were about 14, 15, my dad had a really good internet connection in Kazaa, so he was downloading a lot. So I was like selling films and games to people at school, because he would just like burn them and be like, take them to school. And so I was just like, yeah, fiver for
Sweet
like
little
this.
side business.
Yeah, it was, and I also, completely as a tangent, selling things at school.
Should you be making this public?
Who gives a shit?
Oh,
Past the statute of limitations.
Plus, it's not really public.
Yeah, 200 people might dob us in.
Evidence.
First topic.
Dom
from
might hear it.
Miss T. May.
Yeah, I also collected a lot of Pokemon cards, but obviously I never paid for any of them. My parents bought them all for me, and then I sold them all to a kid at school for 90 quid.
Dude,
I was minted.
I made a bit of money.
So good.
I made a bit of money off some Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
Anyway, my
so
week.
did I, and
Sorry.
then I blew it all on Pokemon cards.
Some child porn or something.
Capitalism works.
So yeah, my week-ish. Last night, I haven't played it yet, but I downloaded a game called Psychonauts. I don't know if anyone's heard of
I
Psychonauts.
I've heard of that.
Love
it's-
Psychonauts.
It's like a kind of an adventure, mostly story-driven, but the soundtrack is Stephen Wilson songs.
yeah.
So it's a video
No
game with
way.
Stephen Wilson songs.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
What? Really?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's
And
awesome.
on Humble Bundle until tonight, I think it's available for free. You can download it for free.
Oh, cool.
That is
So when you're listening to
cool.
this, at least 2 days in the future. Fuck you. No, Psychonauts is one of my favourite games of all
Oh,
time.
really?
It is
okay.
one. Yeah, no. The main character is voiced by the same person who does Invader Zim,
Okay.
and
Oh, wicked. Yeah.
it's an incredible story of like going into people's heads and dreams and psychoanalyzing them, and it's so good.
Like Astronaut, but Psychonaut. Yes, I like.
Is it Ron Gilbert?
It's
No,
Double Fine.
Double Fine. Yeah, him, whatever his name is.
Yeah,
Looks like Jack Black.
yeah.
But isn't. Acts like him as well.
I'll
Yeah,
remember in a minute.
Yeah. Still isn't.
All right. Last Sunday, I believe, I went to a Chris Wood gig. Chris Wood is one of the foremost folk artists in this country. He's absolutely incredible. It was at the Walthamstow Folk Club, which is lovely. He's just an incredible musician and lyricist. I recommend you check him out. Something funny did happen at the gig. He played his last song of the first set, and then he went to the bar, and then he came back for the second set, and he said, God, the queue for the bar was really long. I was really annoyed. I barely got a drink. And someone shouted out, you should have left during the last song. Which I just thought was wonderful. Just imagining him do that. On the way home from that, we were walking to the car, and there was this little wooden box on 2 benches, almost like a cuckoo box or a cuckoo clock box. And it just said on it, "Open me." So we opened it, and inside was a little book, and it just said "Continue the story" on the front. And you opened it, and just people had written different things. The one page I opened it to was, "I from Colombia, this good weed." Which wasn't the most eloquent of stories. There was also a phone in there from somebody, and when I turned it on, it said, "This phone has been reported lost and stolen." I was like, "This is not part of the story," and we ran to the car. That was a bit weird. I've been reading a book about death and psychoanalysis, which is quite
Sorry,
fun.
can I just... I don't think I've ever heard anyone actually slurp whiskey before. But
Oh, you've been missing out, mate.
Sorry, carry on.
It's
John.
oxygenating. Oxygenating equals maximum surface area equals maximum taste bud moleculo.
Thank you very much.
Science.
Bjorn science.
I mean, it's it's all to do with temperature and cubic mass. I mean, it's technical. It's part of my life. So.
Cubic mass.
That's what that. Yes, that's what you said.
Can you have square mass?
Oh, dude, I wish Diola was here. Me and Diola do the best fucking just little
Garbage.
Little-
The best garbage. The two of you together is like watching 2 scrotums flap in the breeze at each other.
It's so much fun. Anyway, carry on, John.
I was just going to say I'm reading this book about death and psychoanalysis called The Denial of Death. It's a wonderful book. You should read it. It makes you feel very sad. And I have a funny story to end with. So I'm an English teacher. I'm teaching an elementary class at the moment. They're wonderful, but their English is not very good. And I had a moment this week where for about 30 seconds, this lovely student from Saudi Arabia called Mohammed was just like vigorously rubbing his chest, just going, fucks. And I was just trying to understand what he meant. And finally I got it. He wanted Vicks. But he was just pronouncing it with his accent, just Vicks. Wonderful. So I have a hoot. That's been my week.
Cool. So, Bjorn, obviously this is your first time on the show. Have you been up
Done
to
anything for the last 30 years?
Yeah.
No.
Been up to
Carry
anything
on.
interesting? Just getting by, What have I been up to? Should we just say in the last week?
Yeah, let's do that.
Anything cool?
Last weekend, I had last Saturday, should I say, I had a stag do
Oh, did you now?
with axe throwing.
Oh,
Yeah?
Yeah.
So it was a friend of mine, Richard Dyke is his name, and I went to uni with him. I met him on the first night that I got to Halls of Residence. Well, I say Halls of Residence, that'd be a little inaccurate. It was actually a year before the Halls of Residence was built. So I was there for sort of 4 or 5, 6 months before I moved in with Erasmus, the Danish guy, who's
Now the lead singer of Diamond Head?
Diamond Head.
There we go.
But I met Richard Dyke first day, and he's a very cool guy. He's a bit of a toff, but he's delightful. And he's getting married. And
Stop talking about this, sir. Axe throwing, we were interested in.
fair. So it was before we are getting to axe throwing. Don't worry, we're getting to axe throwing. But we met up in Clapham, in a cafe in Clapham, and kind of sort of 5 or 10 of us got together. There was about I would say 20 in total, probably involved in the whole day. It was kind of a bit of a cruel kind of essence kind of thing. It was quite cool. And this place is called can't remember what it's called. But it's under the arches. They've got like an arch underneath the railway overpass from Clapham Junction station, and we went there.
There's an arch under the overpass?
And
You're shitting me.
And it was really, really cool little business actually, because it's fantastically simple. They've obviously just set up they've got a pair of ranges there, so there's 2 targets per caged booth. So that means that means that there is a sort of an element of competition to it, because there's 2 people competing against each other. So there are 2 of those side by side, so 4 along one wall, 4 along the opposite wall. And then around the back, there was a couple as well, but I don't think it was busy enough or they'd planned to use those. But they had like a whole wall which had like a slice of wood, almost the size of your pop shield.
Don't tap on the pop shield.
I mean, I won't do it again. Don't worry. And people that got more than a number went on the Hall of Fame kind of thing. So they created like a community.
What's more than a number?
I think
2 of a letter.
because what it was structured like it started off like practicing, and then there was some like basic head-to-head stuff, and then there was like the main tournament at the end. We were there for about 90 minutes. And I don't mind saying so, I ended up being actually fantastically awesome at it.
It'll be the Viking blood.
I've never done it before. It was like, they were like hatchets, sort of a standard size hatchet. And, I guess that they'd designed the range so that it was about the right distance, so that when you threw it,
It span enough times.
it span so that it would be the right way, which then made me think that actually the length of the hatchet, or axe is you've got to sort of determine what your target is, because
that makes sense.
That's how you work out. Because I've always wondered how you get it so that it ends up being the right way when it gets to the target. Is because you've got to just make a judgment on what you're throwing and what the distance is.
So I was told by a guy I've done opera with who does knife throwing that it's roughly a step per half rotation.
Okay.
So like you take 2 steps and then it'll do
Yeah.
one full rotation,
Okay.
go in.
Yeah.
So 2 steps,
Same
2
principle.
rotations.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. So that principle. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that makes perfect sense.
How much fun was it though?
It was unbelievable amount of fun. There was.
Did they sell beer?
They. I don't. You know what? I don't think they did.
Oh, damn.
We're not allowed to with axe throwing.
I don't know. I've seen Jason Momoa throw
I
an
was
axe
gonna say-
into a target, bullseye it, and
Yeah.
then take a swig out of a stein. I love
It's a
Jason
wicked
Momoa.
video.
But it started off. You know, the 2 main sort of throws. It was like a one-handed throw, and then there was the 2-hander. So you kind of sort of stood right. So two hands on the axe, and then it was straight over the head. So you were standing sort of straight stance, and then it was a sort of a lean back, and then a sort of a move your whole body forward and then throw it. And that was just felt so good because I've used axes like all my life, like to a point, like in the garden, like
The axe point.
There we are. Thank you.
just doing stuff in the garden, like, I don't know, chopping wood or whatever like that. But I've always just wanted to fucking
decade
throw
do you
one.
in? No, absolutely.
I've just wanted to throw the fuck out of
It
one.
sounds like exactly the sort of thing I'd be terrible at.
That sounds like the best.
Would enjoy doing.
I would love it.
Yeah.
I would love
That
it.
sounds like the best idea for a fucking stag party. Let's go
I
do
know.
something so alpha male it will make us feel completely feminine for the rest of our lives.
Yeah, but,
Then we can have a
actually,
tea party afterwards.
but
Oh yeah, I'm wearing that t-shirt.
I do think that it's something that we could all go and do and have a really fucking amazing time.
So thank you for joining us. I've been your host Tom and Orangafruüp. Bye.
So the tournament was really good fun because
Did you win?
I came second actually.
Who won?
Oh, so you weren't that brilliant.
No, I won. My points actually exceeded the person that actually won. Unfortunately,
What?
I had one game which I unfortunately had a few failed shots at, which I got knocked out. But the actual number of shots I did the best.
Yes.
But in a battle scenario,
But everyone was talking about me. It's fine. They're like, "Wow, you should take this up professionally." I'm like, "Really? No. I don't know. I've never done this before." Shukunk.
Staying amateur for the Olympics.
And then I was thinking afterwards, I was talking to people, and they said that's a really amazing idea. You should go into business. Was that they should do it with like fruit and things like that, like a watermelon. Can you imagine that? What?
I know they do have.
Oh, I thought you were talking about, like, rather than axe throwing, fruit throwing.
No, axe throwing into various fruits.
Or throwing fruit onto axes that were like stuck in the sand
Well.
or something. Just throw an orange at an axe.
Dude, that's so.
Oh, that would feel
that's-
really satisfying, though,
dude,
wouldn't it?
That's so meta.
Okay, so we've definitely done like
Better.
40 minutes intro. So should we
40
actually get on
minutes.
with
Oh,
this?
fuck, yeah. All right, let's do the show.
Forgot about that. Sorry,
All
listeners.
right. So, have you ever listened to the podcast before?
I've listened to a couple, mate. Don't worry.
Cool.
about that.
So you know the basic format. So as you're new, if you would care to draw one from the hot pot, this
One
is
for the hosts.
donated topics.
Thank you all the hosts for sending them in this week.
Right, I'm digging right down the
Thank you,
bottom because
me.
that's where my name will be at the bottom.
Oh, you can always find the juicy things in the bottom.
Dude, I'll fucking juice your bottom. Right, here we go. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Oh God, I finished all that whiskey in the intro. Can I have some more?
Are you ready? Oh,
Good whiskey.
oh.
Oh, this is a big one.
Here we go. This is a big one.
Go on.
This is a big one, mate.
Go on.
Another 40 minutes.
Are you ready for my big one?
Anticipation.
Here we go. Okay,
Stretched
everyone,
and primed.
everyone ready? Here we go. It's liberty versus security.
This would be a task topic.
I do believe this is.
Oh, fuck. This is a biggie.
and with today's events,
Yeah, well,
Oh, of course. Today we just had a sort of the shittest bombing ever in London.
can I say I travelled home a couple of hours after that. No one gave a shit.
fair,
I'm just
that.
going to say something that I think 95% of people that got quote unquote injured were people stampeding over people running away.
Yes.
As I understand,
no,
yes.
that's what they've said.
So, to give it context, in case you don't know, because I already know that people outside this country haven't really heard much about it.
Donald Trump has.
Other than terror, 29 people. What was that? The signal's breaking up. 29 people. The terror.
20 odd people that were injured in a bucket bomb incident in
Dude, that was
the
actually
underground.
the shittest attempt I've ever seen.
It was pretty pitiful.
someone's hair got singed.
Someone sprained an ankle.
Yeah.
No, I'm sure there are people more injured than that, so I'm not going to make light of it.
Some children, school children missed first period.
But making light of it is kind of how we move on and get on.
That's how
what
you
we do.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Hot
yeah.
topic way, do something really
Absolutely.
not comedy worthy.
To be honest.
Can I just say, libertarianism can fuck off? That would be my initial
How so?
interjection. The idea that we don't need a state or a structure to look after us, and we can be completely independent of that and look after ourselves, comes from middle class arrogance, as far as I'm concerned. I've never met a libertarian who's not white and middle class and thinks that everyone else should just get on with it and pull the socks up. And it pisses me off, actually.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
do need the state, and you do need benefits, and you do need structure.
but libertarian
And all
principles
states grow
are-
old, don't they? And they
Oh,
turn
what?
into
Well,
nannies, don't they?
Well, that's,
Nanny,
yes,
yeah.
the nanny state, indeed.
Yeah, but it's not intentional. They just grow old.
I know, no one intends to grow old.
No, but they
wake up one day.
just turn into nanny state. You know.
But when it comes to libertarianism in particular, I'm all down for the idea that people should be able to do what they want to do, so long as nobody's getting harmed without consent. But like, I think the
BDSM
state's
Taz over
important. I think the state's important because, like, yeah, all right, I'm actually fine if people want to shoot guns, but there should be a license. There should be tests.
And a comprehensively enforced license.
And
Oh, yeah.
also like designated places for where you can have and use guns.
And proper mental health checks, etc.
In
Areas with
in the
dense,
same way,
ethnic minority, for example.
in the same.
Oh, dang hell!
I'm so happy Bjorn's on the podcast. I'm so happy.
This does not reflect the nature of my brain.
No, as I've said in the, I can't remember. I gave a warning once that the views expressed in this podcast do not represent the views of the podcast or the individual members, or even necessarily the person who said them, depending on how much they've drunk.
Exactly. Yeah. That needs to be written down just in case something really, really, really bad gets said, and then we can just go, oh yes, let's read this out, and then that just covers our backs.
But so I think the topic came from I don't know, I can't remember exactly, but it was there's always talks about we need strict regulations on the internet, and we do this so that we can protect you from the terrorists. It's like no. Do you know what?
mate.
I would I'd rather kind of live free and in defiance than safe but cloistered.
Yeah, because
you want peaceful slavery or dangerous freedom? It's
Yeah, because even that's no guarantee. You know what I mean? So you're losing all of your liberty, and you're still not guaranteed.
It was Benjamin Franklin, and I'm trying to pull what he said out of my head on all the thing. Is people who give up liberty for security, something like deserve neither.
Okay.
Yeah, fair. Yeah,
But that does sound like a very
It's like-
American early days gung-ho statement.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, and it sounds wicked, which so much of the early American stuff is.
Yeah,
But unfortunately, that happens.
Sounds like a cheap prostitute, doesn't it? Gung ho.
You take something you take something beautiful like the Constitution
that
and the founding precepts, and then add America, and it just goes wrong. Unfortunately, because this is what happens when you got a nation made largely out of religious.
Let's face it,
extremists.
this is way too deep for us. So let's make it more shallow. Lady Liberty's hot. What's Lady Security?
The Statue of Liberty in a burqa?
All I'm seeing is a ball dyke with a padlock.
Oh, come on, quick! Who else can we offend? Go!
Burqa?
But so I mean, like, I'm all up for people being able to live the way they want to live without
Of course.
intervention from the state. The state should be there to protect people's ability to live how they want to live.
That's all, yes. All very well and good.
The second you start giving away freedoms towards security, the risk then starts being less from outside influences, and more from the state itself.
Well, then the question comes: when does it stop? Because you start,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, what's that
you give
line?
away the freedom of just like, oh, we want, I don't know, ban cakes.
What?
Something like that. Cakes cause
They're made by
diabetes.
gays.
Here we go. There's more offence.
No, I don't believe that, but
No, of
a lot
course
of
you don't.
people
I know what
seem
you're saying.
to.
Yeah.
Okay, so take it from the viewpoint of the UK. We are the world's most videotaped country. We have more.
Is that true?
Yeah, we have more CCTV than any country in the world.
Yeah, I know, and I actually don't.
But we
actually
didn't.
like
We
it.
didn't actually authorise it as a
No.
people. It just happened.
And amazingly, all of that videotape is largely
Blurry.
Didn't help my
it's not
No,
permissible
you just
from a
enhance it.
security concern.
You just enhance it.
and it didn't help me in my insurance claim against that foreign driver that crashed into me.
Zoom in and enhance.
Oh, we've got 4 pixels at our disposal. What should we do? Let's just enhance it. There we go. Oh, yeah. What does she have for breakfast?
I don't know.
I actually don't like CCTV at all. I mean, it's like, well, if you've got nothing to hide, you've got nothing to fear.
I hate that quote.
I don't like it at all. And actually, I feel a little bit sorry for myself because recently they've turned a whole of Bank Junction into
A camera.
into a camera.
Into a video stage.
Now the thing is, this is literally one of the main intersections of the entire city of London, and to just take it away for buses and bicycles. I mean, I don't disagree with their decision, but I've been riding that junction for
On your
years,
bicycle?
for years on my moped. And
Same thing.
And I go
Two
through,
wheels,
and I go
knock
through
it off
it,
the
and
road.
in 2 days I literally come home from work. I don't normally go that way just because there was fucking roadwork so epically bad. I just went through there. Turns out they've just turned it into this way, and they've got a couple of poxy signs. Now, as a moped rider, I'm looking around me for things that are going to knock me off, etc. I'm not going to look at some poxy sign of a road that I know off the back of my hand. So I get done with 3 fucking tickets in 2 days because I've literally crossed that.
So you didn't learn the first day is what you're saying.
Dude, you get it through the post a week later.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
That
so
is
I literally
true.
get 3 things through the post a couple of days ago, and I'm like, you actual fucking cunts. I was like, all I'm trying to do is get to my fucking job. I'm getting up and going to work every day, just like you fucking want me to do.
Paying your fucking wages.
Okay.
cameraman.
I mean, I'm gonna have to stop you there because that isn't so much a reduction in your freedom. That's city town planning.
But I went back and I looked at their signs, and they look like a bunch of ropey roadwork signs, and they can actually go and fuck my dick.
Add it to the soundboard.
And now,
Okay, this is
and now
this is an
I'm gonna
example
have
of inept
to
security.
appeal it. I'm going to have to appeal it, and they're going to waste my life and make me all anxious, and Shawnee's
Or you
going to
could
get a
just
beating.
Pay it.
Whoa! What was that?
That was him saying he's going to beat his fiance on a podcast because he's got 2 tickets.
3.
It was a joke.
The views of the host that said it do not reflect his actual thoughts.
No, it's all right. No, it's fine. I reckon Shani could take you in a fight, Bjorn.
Yeah, absolutely.
I must admit, I didn't anticipate that amount of mirth. It's just hollow shadow.
Okay,
hollow
so
words.
what we're basically saying is there's no such thing as liberty versus security. It's a mixing of the two. There is no verses in there.
I'm pretty sure they're
But when
it's
you
coming
put
out in the new-
verses
in the new
between
Tekken.
anything other than like a boxing match, it's always kind of rhetorical. You're doing it to make a
I
point.
don't know.
rather-
Did you see the Mayweather fucking Monaco?
I did. I did see bits of it.
Boring, wasn't it?
It was boring, but that's actually a versus. The liberty versus security is designed to ask a question, which is what you did.
Yeah.
There are 2 things about this. One that's very interesting. A lot of my students said this on a course when we were talking about it. Is like my freedom ends when yours begins. Is something that is often said as a good point, which sounds good in principle, but that to me sounds like no one gets to do anything.
Well,
At least everyone's safe.
No. I think that's a misunderstanding of freedom. Because if your freedom ends where mine begins, that's suggesting that I want to do something like I should be free to impinge upon you, that's not freedom. That's exploitation, or that's oppression. That's completely different.
That's oppression.
It's one of those. It sounds really good, but is in fact garbage.
Yes, I would say I think
That's sort of like
Can I add something to the podcast?
If you do it into the mic, yeah.
Can I add something to the podcast? I thought of something which is an absolute banger.
A topic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right down.
I'll write it and just hoof it. Write it and hoof it. That's my philosophy.
It's sort of like saying that it's your freedom to choose to smoke, but then it's Taz's freedom to stand around with like one of those comedy spritzer things, and every time you light up, he just sort of stands there and goes, "My freedom to do this," squirts you in the face.
Yeah.
Every time.
It's just a lot of people failing to do anything they want to do, basically. It's like collective ineptitude. It's wonderful. I think Jim Jeffries made the best point about this when he was talking about freedom, and he was saying, you know, like, I take drugs like a fucking champion, but this person took drugs and then killed her children, so what are we going to do? Like, if that's what happens, then we have to push the bar back a little bit, and then, okay, I drive really fast, but I'm really safe. But then this person drove really fast and killed their family. So, okay, bar back again. It's like, if collectively we do something stupid, then morally we have to move the bar.
Well, that's how laws get passed.
Yeah.
Like, that's the reason.
But we don't. Because, that's taking someone who's been a dickhead and going, oh, cool, well, then everyone's going to do that, and so we should outlaw
So you're only
it
as fast
entirely.
as your slowest man does not apply?
Well, how so?
Well, that's what
that's
that
the
metaphor
principle
is
of the
basically like.
argument.
Okay,
Right.
we're all great at taking drugs, but someone died, so therefore there've got to be laws against it because
There's got to be
that's
prohibition against
Yeah.
it because
Yeah,
no one can be trusted.
lowest common denominator sets the bar. Basically.
I disagree with that, and also the reasons
So
for
therefore
why people,
eugenics.
So that's like
Oh God!
so that's like 100 people have taken drugs. One person has that died.
Yeah.
So that's 1% of these people. So we expand this to the population of the UK.
There we are.
So
Yeah,
there
yeah.
is the population of London, which is about 11 million. So was that 1,100,000 people will die?
well, yeah.
No one's allowed
like,
buckets on the underground.
Like you only ever hear about people who taking drugs.
You only hear the bad news.
That's the topic. That's the example we're going with. You only ever hear about the people who fuck up.
Well, this is
when it comes to
the
drugs.
Bill Hicks
you
point.
never hear about the people who just fucking, they can take some drugs and then get on with their life.
Oh, I didn't
Look, Bill Hicks is a beautiful mind, but
Well, no.
please don't use him as an example for a statement.
I mean, no. In this particular context, he did that thing where he said there are no good drug stories. I mean, I'm not saying that he's a moral authority.
Oh, okay, all right.
He just said, what about if someone said somebody took acid and realised that we are all one collective consciousness operating subjectively? Like, it's a nice alternative viewpoint. There are plenty of good drug stories.
Yeah. But the problem is because
don't
you
make
only
good
ever
news.
hear about the bad drug stories,
Yeah.
that means that anyone who doesn't run into that problem, they get tarred with that brush, which is just basically it's poor logic, it's poor reasoning, and and also no
basically
cause for reducing other people's freedom.
So what you're saying is that imposing laws on a mass population due to the actions of a few is actually bigotry.
So,
No, it's not bigotry. It's just
I'm gonna do it again.
just reactionist. It's just poor reasoning. I'm really sorry.
On that point, you made me imagine like a future world where built into us, or that we have it, everyone individually has their own kind of law card, and you start with 0 laws that apply to you. And every time you fuck up, a law applies to you. So that would be nice, right? Like, if you've never fucked up with driving dangerously or causing harm
had
when
a
you take
crash.
drugs or whatever, then that law does not apply to you.
So it's
We all have our individual
you're
law
talking
system.
about the world
Okay.
of Demolition Man, where it's like,
Am I now?
John Crichton, you have been fined 1/2 credit for use of profanity.
Well, there we are. Okay.
Okay, so maybe we go with my basic motto, which is nothing's illegal if you don't get caught.
No, I think
Run your bit.
That's
I think-
that's going to be my epitaph.
That's kind of the Turkish approach to everything, actually. It's not wrong unless someone sees you doing it. It's like, no, I didn't cheat. You found me cheating. Why did you do that?
How dare you? I was innocent until you saw me.
Yeah.
but I think
Johnny speaking as someone who's lived many years in Turkey.
Yeah. This is founded bigotry, not unfounded bigotry.
I think
I found your
essentially-
bigotry.
I think essentially the point I'm driving at is just because if somebody fucks up something that other people do well, and if a couple of people fuck it up, that doesn't mean we need to put a law there. It means there needs to be more education about it.
Yes.
I have a feeling we're straying from the topic.
Actually, well,
No, not at all. Because like
Actually-
with knowledge comes freedom.
actually, the perfect thing.
Where does security
I
come into
can-
that?
Does responsibility equal freedom? Because I thought with
Well,
knowledge
the security would be putting the law in and saying, no, don't do that, so everyone's safe. It's like, well, that's ridiculous. Just teach people.
One of the best examples of this is drones. So drones came cheaper and cheaper. Everyone started buying them, and then in the last year and a half, you keep hearing on the news: drone flown next to plane. Drone
Some
flown.
freaking moron ruined it for everybody
Yeah,
else.
it's just like some guys.
We don't have hoverboards because some kid in California fell off one.
Absolutely. And you know what? I always spiral into this epicenter of what I'm about to say now, and actually, everything is a lot easier and makes a lot of sense when I say the words, "We're doomed." We're all doomed. We quite literally can't give or be responsible as a species, because there'll always be someone that will ruin it for the rest of us.
But we never.
Trump.
But we never do.
President Duckfast.
We never do. Every moment that we live, there is possibility, and it could be really fucked up, and it could be really wonderful.
I've
we're
got
not
to bring one of our friends in who's not here. I've got to say something about it.
Otherwise,
this is our friend Alex Sinnott. He's
He's
been on before.
I
haven't seen that man in ages.
I consider him a bigot, because I consider Alex a bigot. Do you know why? Because
Why?
he's always looking for a bigger tree.
He's not a tree surgeon. He's
Arborist.
an arborist.
Okay, cool. Right, moving on. We
One
got
from the community pot, one
got-
from the community chest. Both.
we got one from Sophie's chest. Yeah,
That's the one.
this comes from John Kieran.
Hey, emo kid.
He said, if not ghost, what about Bigfoot, Yeti, Sasquatch, Hagrid?
all combined.
Fantastic. Okay, cool.
Is there a backstory to this? Am I
No,
missing something?
there's a slash in between all of these. So Bigfoot slash Yeti, Sasquatch slash
slash
Hagrid.
Sasquatch. That's fun to
So
say.
this is going to say
It's Sasquatch.
so,
Slash
and he's
Sasquatch.
also saying Hagrid is the Yeti.
So
there was-
Hagrid is the love child between a human and Bigfoot, essentially.
No, he is Sasquatch.
Let's just boil
Hagrid
it down
is
to, if not ghosts, what about Bigfoot?
I wish I could
if
remember the
ghosts
details.
don't-
If
So
not
if
one
go-
thing that doesn't exist, another thing that doesn't exist.
Yeah, so if ghosts don't exist, what about other mythical creatures or
So
cryptozoology?
yeah. So there was a wicked story I was reading the other day about basically it's apparently for Bigfoot people enthusiasts, it's one of the most convincing solid bits of evidence of Bigfoot. And this dude went out with his mates, so they were going to go find Bigfoot, and they caught some footage of, fuck me, that looks like Bigfoot. There's nothing to do with it. Like, we found it. And then this local shaman came forward and said, oh yeah, no, that was me.
No,
that's
Bigfoot.
He's like, no.
That's Bigfoot. Sorry,
Thank you for insulting me and my people.
Thing is, right, the reason he was out in the woods looking like Bigfoot is because he was trying to find Bigfoot himself. But the people who took the video were just like, no, this is absolutely Bigfoot. And the shaman was just going, no, I mean, I'd love to say it was, but that was actually me. La.
Mate, I saw you. I was waving at you, going like, "Hi!"
Fucking amazing story.
Hello, I'm Bigfoot. Are you Bigfoot? No, you're hunters. Okay, no.
No, I'm Bigfoot. No, I'm Bigfoot.
Self-fulfilling prophet, then, I guess.
But we're in the same cult, so same cult. So that's great. Yeah, well, I better be going because I'm not wearing a coat. So
How does one dress
Bill
up like Bigfoot?
Bailey.
Like big fur coat.
I believe you...
Like Hagrid.
You start by being tall, you wear some sort of height extensions on your feet, and then you dress up in furs and shit and just wander around. I assume also making noises that you assume Sasquatch would make in order to
Assumptions.
attract said Sasquatch.
Assumptions.
These are all assumptions, yeah.
Can you give me an
So
example?
it's just Sasquatch just sitting there going,
well,
like, what
I
the-
watched a movie once with Sasquatch in it, so therefore those noises are basically science.
There we go. Harry
yeah,
and the
but
Hedisons is Sasquatch science.
No, Jack Black is then Sasquatch because in Pick of Destiny He does boatloads of mushrooms, and then he finds out he is the child of Sasquatch.
I think one of my favourite stories about Bigfoot was I got really excited. I think I've actually spoken about it on the podcast before, but I got really excited because there at work there was a book left called Ghost Hunters or something, but it's a book that contains stories from Fred and Lorraine. Can't remember the names, but they're the demonologists behind the story
Annabelle.
Annabelle and the Conjuring. They're some of the most famous demonologists in America. They've had any big event like Amityville Horror. They've turned up. They've been there. But so I was really excited to read this. It's like, oh, wicked! Like, what other cool stories are going to be? Just heads up, they're all fucking bullshit. They're all terrible, terrible stories told terribly. But my favourite one is
those in glass houses.
3 stories in. 3 stories in, they talk about going for a walk through some woods, and Lorraine psychically contacts Bigfoot. And it's just like, and I think their conclusion was, they're walking through with some people, and she kind of had a psychic message from this beast, and she felt its fear. It's like, it wants to not be found. And their final conclusion on it was that Bigfoot probably doesn't exist, but it may very well be, I can't remember the term they use for it, but, not a ghost. It's, a particular, like, a conjured familiar by a mage. So they settled on this entity that's walking around isn't actually Bigfoot, but it was created by a magician at some point, and is still wandering around.
No.
Yeah, let's call it a Patronus.
So what you're saying
Can you have a familiar or a Patronus without the person that conjured it being still around and alive?
Demonology.
Karen, I think you may have answered the topic perfectly. So if not ghosts, what about Yeti? What about mages?
What about necromancers?
So someone write in that topic and we'll carry on. Next topic. Oh my god, it's one from the pitch pot.
Oh god!
So Taz, do you want to explain?
All right, okay, cool. So the pitch pot is a new pot we've got, which is it comes from a site called lewisandquark.tumblr.com.
Give them a look.
They whoever runs
I'm sorry. They recently just did their last post was one about computers should not name pubs. Which is a topic we have had on the podcast.
Yeah.
That's good. I mean, that's fine.
Awesome.
But what's its pitch?
So
this is it.
So Bjorn, allow me to explain it to you. So lewisandquark.tumblr.com, the dude who runs it, or the people who run it, they have a neural network computer, and so they basically feed it information and then fill with parameters and then see like what it creates.
Got it.
And the post that caught my eye was, which this has all been drawn from, is their neural network came up with a bunch of names for stories. So the pitch bot is all of these story names. It starts off with the genre and then the title. And what we do is we basically come up with the pitch for this story.
So elevator pitch that lasts about 20 minutes.
That's fun.
It's the longest elevator ride ever.
Yeah.
But
So what have we got?
we got to get a 3-act structure basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun.
So this is an action and adventure,
Okay.
Okay.
and the title is Shurk Hat Dies.
Sorry?
Shurk Hat Dies.
What?
Yep, no, it is Shurk Hat Dies with an exclamation mark.
Shurk Hat
Sorry,
dies.
That might have been where you.
Wait, shirk as in shirking responsibility?
Nope, Shurk as in SHURK.
Shurk.
Hat as in you wear upon your head.
Yes,
And
yes.
it just dies.
Dies.
Shurk
Exclamation
Hat
mark.
dies.
Okay.
So what is the?
Can we
story?
change that?
Well,
Can we
the
change that with a
hat.
little bit of catenation to Shurk Hat?
No, we can't.
No.
No. We got to go with the title as
All
is.
I heard was Shurk Hat.
Is this phase 2 of the world planets?
Oh, well, no,
Legends of World Planet.
it's all part all part of the extended mythos. Yeah.
Jockstrap Studios phase 2.
I think the first question should be, how can a hat die?
No.
No. The hat.
'cause-
It's not a hat as you think it's a hat.
Right, that's good.
The hat is a metaphorical representation of his childhood troubles. And this is actually a really uplifting story about how he actually conjures.
Well, remember, it's got to be an action adventure. Remember that.
Fine. and he combats all of these.
Is the person Shurk?
Combat, see? Action adventure.
The man is Shurk, Doctor
Shurk?
William.
No, maybe his surname is Hat.
Shurk. So
no.
Dr. Shurk Hat.
No, his name's not Hat.
Okay.
I mean,
No.
denied.
No, he wears a hat, and he's so protective of it because that's basically his childhood representation of basically his own mortality.
And then he dies.
Okay, so explain that.
So he's overprotective of it, and he
His hat is a childhood representation.
and he needs a
of his
release. He needs a
mortality.
release, and he gets involved with some bad people, and they are also good people, but mainly bad people to people that
How many floors does this building have?
So
level.
essentially,
Bjorn.
essentially, go on.
Act 1. Bring us in with the opening of the film.
Okay. Oh, wait. Also, we're not dealing with the Shurk portion. Is Shurk the name of the hat? Is it a type of hat?
Can we kind of have a kind of weird, trippy cosmological thing where a baby is born out of a hat that kind of resembles a vagina?
Gynecological.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you basically saying the magician's
Gynecosmological.
hat with a rabbit? Like he's
Basically.
born out of a hat?
Like the
Yes.
sorting hat, but for
Go,
Babies.
Imagine the stork is the top hat.
You
There we
pull
go.
out magical babies.
which is funny because if you pull out, anyway. So yeah,
That's how totally works. That's how you get a muggle.
are we okay with the cosmological?
Well, okay. So is
Gynecological.
Cosmological hat birth?
gynecosmological? Yeah.
Cosmological. Okay.
But okay, so is Shurk Hat the name of the entity?
I shall name you Shurk.
Shirk is, but hat's not.
Mike.
That's his.
Mike Shirk.
Yeah, all right, let's go with that. I was saying talking to the mic.
I know.
Mike Hat is actually brilliant. And he shirks all his responsibilities.
and is always dressed disproportionately smart compared to his particular trade of choice.
But he doesn't like responsibilities.
No, he shirks him.
He shirks them.
Good.
So, dresses like a lawyer, is actually like sewage worker.
Okay, done.
He's a
Man about town.
he's a used brick recycler.
Used brick recycler. Okay.
Okay, so Act 1, we're introducing the used brick recycler, Mike
I'm
Hat.
sorry, mate. That brick's new. I can't recycle that.
But
Really?
how is it an action? My cat has a cat,
Yes.
and his name is Mike.
See now.
And he wears a hat.
Oh dear Lord, this is dissolved into absolute bullshit.
Okay.
let's flip
So
back.
all right. Okay. So
Bring it back. Bring it
Sober
back.
up, everyone.
let's take it back to your idea that the Shurk Hat is the metaphorical, psychological representation of something for this character.
Something
and
with
it's got to die.
He needs to get rid of it. He needs
Shirk it.
He needs
He needs to pull it out of the hat.
Transcend.
So how about this? How about it is an action
that mean
adventure?
send it to Bradley
but
Manning?
the action adventure all happens in the mind of someone who's going through some sort of psychoanalysis or something, psychoanalysis.
Okay.
So it's like the film starts off with this dude who sits down with his with his therapist. And the Shurk Hat is like the representation of whatever childhood trauma he's got going on, and the action adventure is him working through, talking through, creating this sort of whimsy.
That's right. And then having flashbacks of bad times.
Oh, but
getting
So this
it,
is like Inception if it actually had meaning.
Actually, I've just realised this is starting to sound an awful lot like
film's
Sucker
so
Punch.
profound, man. That film's so
This is
profound.
sounding
It's
like
a
Big
shore
Fish.
with
Cross
water.
talk.
Yeah.
And he gets washed up.
Ooh.
Hey,
He is washed up.
He's on
That's the problem.
The elevator is all metaphorical.
Yeah,
and
there
that,
we are.
And that, and the woman on the sheet. Sorry.
This has been
Sorry.
The most cross-talking podcast we've done for a very long time.
I'm really sorry.
so. What does the Shurk Hat act? So is it the representation of his mortality, childhood mortality?
What's it actually
he's-
look like?
Well, he's hanging on to it, and he's he beats people that go near it.
What? Like Jason Statham. Like, don't touch my hat.
Because he's so overprotective, and no one understands why, and he doesn't really also doesn't understand why either. But this is all about him realizing about what it's really about, and he needs to shed to be able to then.
Oh God, this is Memento.
This is Memento via sucker
Via
punch via Inception.
Head clothing.
Cool. Oh, so right, okay. So if the Shurk Hat in his mind represents his childhood mortality, then obviously this has to come from an event that happened to him as a child that almost killed him.
Oh yes.
We need to wrap
Hang on.
this shit
I'm
up.
trying
yes.
to Tom.
Okay.
I'm trying to save it.
Wait, is a Shurk Hat like another term for a turncoat?
A Shurk Hat. I like that.
Well, you've got the whole thing of a turncoat where someone who's like a
Shurk Hats are
spy.
beautiful.
What maybe a Shurk Hat is a double spy, the double bluff of a spy.
The double fluff.
Of a spy.
Double fluff, yeah.
Sorry.
This brings us back into action adventure. Good.
Yeah, so it's a double.
like it.
So you've got a turncoat, someone who's working for your side but really working for the
Double
other
agent.
side. But a Shurk Hat is someone who's working for you, but giving information to the other side, but also working for you because they're giving false information. So you become a Shurk Hat.
And they die. Do you know what? I think you're right, Tom. I think we failed on this one.
I thought this
He
was
looks
excellent.
sad.
I thought this was excellent. This is excellent.
Wanted to save it, and in the third act, Gene Wilder is God.
Does a tap number with Frankenstein monster, and it
Okay,
just
okay.
descends into.
I know why. Last 10 seconds. Sorry, I'm just going to interject. The reason why the hat is so precious to him is because he thought he was actually rescuing his mother from a submerged car after they went off the edge of a road on a rainy day, and he grabbed onto what he thought was his mother to rescue her from the car, and he came up, and then the hat
It's just a hat.
in his hand was just the hat, and the mother wasn't with it.
So actually, Shurk Hat is it's a bonnet that he wears, and
So
everyone.
he wears it,
car bonnet,
and
yeah.
it's basically his mum. So basically, anyone that touches it, he kills them because he thinks that they're trying to kill his mum.
At the end of the film, he finally takes off his mother's hat and accepts that he didn't save her and couldn't do anything. Okay, wicked, lovely, done. Shall we move the fuck on?
All I'm saying,
Wow.
the final shot is him just chewing on the barrel of a gun, realizing that he didn't save his mother. It's just like,
Yeah, lest we forget that Bjorn does that. So let Tom, one from the hot pot.
Orangafruüp, good night.
I get a sense there that there's something out like just disbandant. There's a disbandant angle. A disbandant angle from the status quo. And it may be me, and I apologise.
Okay, this is
It's lovely to have you on the show.
this topic is possibly the cutest thing I've ever seen because Chris has bothered to put in brackets howitzer bug as the submitter. So this is one from the host. You can design a hat. Oh fuck.
That is beautiful. That is beautiful.
You can design a hat that turns you.
May I?
Sorry.
May I?
Sorry. You can design a hat that you know will become the next fashion craze. Describe it. As crazy as crazy or as wonderful as you can imagine.
Bjorn, take it away.
So it represents the mortality that he felt during his childhood.
It's Gynecosmological.
Gynecosmological.
Right, yeah.
Fuck that topic. Chris, you just had it answered.
Sorry. What's going on?
We basically answered a topic in the last topic without answering the topic before.
Are we playing
which
that?
is incredible.
Are we playing that too, Ron?
There's a word for that. There's going to be a word. We've got to invent a word for that.
Topisection.
Because
Yeah,
that
that's
surely
what I was
can't happen
going with.
very often, and that there's got to be a word that we've got to put somewhere for that reason.
Topception.
I think there needs to be a fanfare. So,
Wow. So
We will find it late.
unfortunately,
by
Chris-
the time we all wake up / go to bed, we will think of a word that will be that, and then we will get it printed in. Not printed, but made in one of those custom.
I've got it.
Neon tubes.
I've got it.
One of those, like
gentlemen, I have what we call it. We call it howitzering a topic.
hey.
Yeah, that would do it.
There we go.
Although I do
Howitzering.
have an actual answer.
Okay.
How about a
Howitzer?
howitzer? Did you hear that? That's a howitzering.
how about a hat that's also a cloak? So it's a hat, but
The mullet of capes.
That's beautiful.
So, but basically, it's
Hoax.
it's a cloak that doesn't have a hood so much as a hat, but it's a hat that has a cloak. I think that's the way to go, because cloaks should come back.
Okay, so how about this?
They should,
I've got
but they
it.
should
I've got
have
it.
a hood.
I've got it.
Slash
So,
hat.
as a kid, age, like 12, 13, I used to bend every baseball cap I had to like the tightest curve I possibly could.
I did that, and I was very, very cool.
I went to a chappy
in
school.
my own head
I
at
went to a
that
chappy
exact
school.
moment in time.
And as I've progressed into my 30s, my cap has become flatter and flatter and flatter.
Have you got a gold sticker on
So
it yet? Have you got
the-
a gold sticker on it yet?
No, I'm not like that.
Like what, Tom? Like what, Tom?
I have flat caps, like completely flat brim caps. How about the next
Zigzagging.
craze is up, like horns.
So like your
off
peak,
your eyebrow.
peak makes you look angry.
Shut up, dude.
like
shut
a
up.
U
Shut
on,
up.
U
Shut
on your
up.
forehead. A U on your forehead.
Are
up.
you on your forehead?
No, Tom. No.
You
no,
are.
No, Tom. I don't believe you. Is that
That's
becoming?
no. That's the answering the topic. It's
Oh.
the next fashion craze.
Oh, okay. So I mean, if not that, how about zigzagging the peak?
Oh, I like it.
I think building in the new iPhone, so the iPhone Y, is just a hat.
Is that
phone
the question
between-
people are asking right now?
It's a mix between like the Google Glass and the iPhone, because everyone knows that
The iPhone
so-
10. It does look kind of interesting. I would just see one up close.
Okay. So as in, like, you put on a hat and maybe it's got some sensors that you attach to your temples or something. And
Yeah,
then,
and it just beams your screen into your face. So you can see your screen, so you could be sitting on the
AR.
bus.
But I mean, okay. So I mean, that's more a practical application of what the hat could be. Like, how would it look? I think that's the important
How
thing.
would-
It's got to be fashion.
Dumb is the answer.
Dumb has got to be.
It would be like white and silver with a massive fucking
Oh,
Apple logo on the front and cost £500,000.
This is the new hat. A new hat that is like a perfect recreation of your face, but then
That you wear as-
but then it covers your face.
That's
so,
a mask.
Yeah, no. But your face is just like black, nothing, and then on top is just a representation of your own face that doesn't actually do anything.
You've basically got a face extension.
Basically, it's just like I want to be me, but not too much.
But slightly,
But
a
6
head
inches
taller.
higher.
A little bit more
And
me.
I'm also hiding from everybody. I can be me,
yeah.
but without being me.
a
What
little
if you wear
bit
someone
more
else's
me,
face?
but just not overbearing.
Okay, so how about this? How about a face that, or a hat that covers your face and makes you not be able to be recognized by computers? So facial recognition software does not work.
Facial de-recognition.
Basically, what I'm seeing is a bead curtain.
yeah.
What I'm seeing is a bead
so-
curtain off of a cap.
I was going to say
Curtain
that
sounds lovely.
that already
70s
exists.
is what it sounds.
That's really cool. That's
Well,
really
I mean,
cool
that's basically
idea.
a hat with a veil.
No, that already exists.
and we've-
Bead curtain
bead
sounds like
cover.
braided pubes, is what it sounds like.
Semi-transparent green screen. It'll take out all of the
Yes.
all of the.
Yes.
So therefore, you'll still be able to see.
can
You'll still
project
be able
your
to
own
be
image.
seen, and then you'll be able to do some wizard shit.
Oh,
But
okay. How about this, right?
This is the most unlistenable podcast ever.
Yeah.
This is incredible. This is
I'm saying-
art. This is art.
So how about a deconstructed hat? Where it
It's just
serves,
fabric on your head.
it serves no purpose that hat serves other than it sits on your head. But it's basically just a wireframe hat.
I just think it's just
I
like a
like
bolt
that.
I that would be an interesting fact. That would be so much fun for me to take the piss out of.
You're saying a deconstructed hat. Is it just like a bolt of fabric, hat fabric, and like some needle and thread?
All in test tubes.
All into.
Yeah.
So-
No, I'm talking literal wireframe. So like almost made out of pipe cleaners, if you will.
But
like,
with the rest of the fabric just piled on top.
which actually, strangely enough, and now I think about it, I know where that idea came from. My idea for like getting married is I quite like the idea of a deconstructed
Ew.
top hat, which is all wireframe except like it's a top hat, so it's tall, and only the top has any fabric whatsoever.
Can you please have a canary inside?
Yes.
Oh, is that it? Is it hats with living things in it? A fish tank hat. There, done. Topic over. Topic over.
Yep.
Fish tank hats.
Next topic.
And therefore, it's got a built-in like air purifying like barometer.
What about hat aquaponics? That's the last thing. So
Aquaponics.
hat aquaponics.
Shall we take a break?
Is this
Aquaponics.
Let's take a
Fish
break
tank.
and get
Fish
out of
tank
this
top
room.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm on the
with
next.
plants on the top. Aquaponics. Plants feed fish. Fish feed plants.
So there'll be a whole above below scenario.
Yeah.
A turf cap, essentially. Cool. All right.
Break.
Oh god, listeners, I am sorry, but actually really happy this has happened.
Wait, which issue number is this?
68.
The last.
It got to 68. 68 before we killed listeners.
So the next time 69, yeah.
Holy shit! You are right.
Can I be there for that, please?
Oh yes.
Do you know what?
Everybody
Don't make it a Sunday, please.
We need to celebrate that more than our 100th episode when we reach a nice episode number.
Yes, absolutely.
It's going to literally be 2 hours of shouting "Duke."
Cool.
All right, sorry, listeners. Bye.
Right, quick break.
Cool.
Cool. So I believe you're going to read something for us, Dom.
From the rider of 50 Cent. Kellogg's Variety Pack. 12 quality cotton bath towels. 2 buckets of KFC. 6 corn on the cobs. Creamy peanut butter. 1 jar of grape jelly. 5 dozen assorted donuts. 2 love seats. 1 full-length mirror. Soft toilet paper.
My question is, where does the peanut butter and jelly go?
My question is,
Where's
is
the
my
bread?
fucking skull?
Sorry?
50 Cent Blood in the Sand, the best video game ever made.
Is it really good?
Oh,
No.
it's amazing. So you kill people and you have a button, which I believe is R1, that you press and you get a multiplier on your score for killing people, which is him swearing. You have a swear multiplier when you kill people.
That's lovely.
It's incredible.
It's
And
actually
his-
a good game apart from that. Funny
Yeah,
thing.
because all he does is shout, "Where the fuck is my skull?" And and then his entourage shout, "Hey, Fiddy, hit that big ass ramp," which is when he's driving and jumping.
Cool.
Anyway, carry on with the
Yeah.
second half of the podcast.
Johnny, I believe you got something from,
From
Sophie's chest.
indeed.
One from the community.
It is printed.
I'm impressed with the printing.
Doc
elements.
Mantis Toboggan.
Oh, sorry, can I just interject? Doc Mantis, good luck at university, mate.
Ooh.
Oh, has he just gone to
Where's he going?
Who be
I-
Doc Mantis?
So he's a listener that we managed to claim from Super the Hardest podcast when we did a very self-referential thank you to those
yes,
guys.
Yes.
And
So
he's just going off to university now, and I believe he's studying physics.
Wait, hang on. How old is he?
He's young, apparently.
So, well, no, would it be?
Well, wicked. Like, yeah,
If
good
he's
luck,
in
dudes.
America, is it college? So he's
It's what they call college when they mean university.
University.
Yeah.
So what? 18?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude,
Fucking
good luck to you, man. We've got your back. If you want any advice on revising, then don't come to us because we just drank.
Doc
What?
Mantis Toboggan, if you do join a fraternity, get them to listen to the Pot Topic podcast.
And remember, there is only one electron. Anyway, what does he have to say, Johnny?
Okay, I'm going to ignore a typo.
Into the microphone.
Don't ignore the typo.
No, I'm going to ignore a typo because it's quite a funny topic. It's quite a good topic. Are American accents as sexy to British people as English accents are to Americans? I want to fuck all of your voices.
Babe, I love you.
I mean, personal experience, no.
Do you know what?
To Americans, our accents are quirky and odd, not sexy.
Because we
they vary
hear
a lot.
American accents constantly. We have American culture just blasted at us constantly.
There is a certain type of southern accent.
Oh, the
babe,
southern, yes.
Not in general the southern, but there's a particular lilt on it that some
Yeah.
people pull off that is just.
cornbread.
We're saying
That's some tasty cornbread.
That's some tasty cornbread.
I was saying the fact I lost my virginity to a girl from Kentucky, so
That is a
That's a
country
limerick.
song title right there.
Yeah, no, it really is.
that's the first song to
yeah.
my album, The Songs of Captain
I'm sorry,
Sickbeard.
it's right there. I've got to say it.
The sea
Did you just fuck
shanties.
a bucket of KFC?
I'm sorry, but also, is your album entitled
Okay,
The Sea Shanties of Captain Sickbeard? And that is the first track.
AKA the Colonel's
I lost
daughter.
my virginity to a girl from Kentucky.
I'm drinking.
I have a feeling that the Americans have a more greater soft spot for the English accent than vice versa.
Because we're all like Hugh Laurie, slightly bumbling, and
Yeah,
But when we say the English accent, we mean RP, don't we? We mean received pronunciation. They like
yes.
casting us as bad guys and having the austere posh.
you either have the Cockney
He's
accent.
definitely not talking about Birmingham or
Right.
Dudley accents.
Mate.
Because
Manchester.
That's not. Yeah, exactly. Or,
Birmingham.
Scouts, Liverpool. That,
Or Newcastle.
accent.
My
well, no,
God.
the Newcastle accent is amazing. Fuck
No,
off.
but I mean for the Americans.
I quite like the Newcastle accent. There's just
I hate it.
there's no consonants at all.
A girl with a Newcastle accent is the least sexy
Okay,
thing
I
ever.
say that, and then go on YouTube and
girl
listen
with-
to the "Call Me Maybe" cover by two Geordie girls. It is wonderful.
There we go.
The lyrics go, "I just met you like, and this is mental.
Good.
Something something. Give us a ring, will you, pet?" It's fantastic.
Tom, could we put in like a 10-second musical interlude of just that?
Absolutely. There we
Okay.
go.
And every guy in Newcastle rides a motorcycle from a particular Japanese denomination. It's a Kawasaki.
Oh, dude.
It's true.
Yeah, no, I think no. Do you know what? I prefer Canadian accents. It's a very slight difference. In fact, of all the non-English accents, I've got a real thing about Australian girls
No.
and their accents.
I've just
In a good way.
realised,
In a good way.
Where in Australia though?
Taran, I've just realised something about the Australian accent is there is a cut-off point as to when they were born. Because if you were born after like 1992,
Oh,
the accent has that, and it goes with the
the
high
AQI, the upward
and every
inflection.
time they go with the upward inflection
Dude,
at the end of every sentence,
dude,
and it drives you fucking mad.
It's about region, like more than anything.
Yeah.
Like it's like when you watch like Home and Away or whatever. It was they just sounded so.
Home and away.
Where was Home and Away based? And Neighbours? Like, which territory?
I actually don't know.
The Australias.
The Australia.
the Australasian province.
Are they like?
Antipodia. Yeah.
Are they the Northern Territories, New South Wales?
No, they're definitely not Northern Territories.
Definitely not New South
No,
Wales.
if I'm
it's
going to be
just like-
if I'm going to be honest, if there is if someone's got a pronounced American accent, so there's Hollywood American, which is just it's kind of like a different type of RP. But if there's a very pronounced, very
American
specific American accent, to me it just makes them sound a little more stupid. In the same way that Essex accents also makes people sound a little more
Family
stupid.
Guy,
Yeah.
the accent that does it to me is Mr. Bottomtooth.
Oh god, yeah.
for me, it's the expression "horses for courses" rings true every time. If that person there standing in front of you sounds like they should sound
Like a horse?
as the person standing in front of you, then it makes sense and it's totally fine. But if it doesn't, then there's a big problem.
I don't know. I've always found it really sexy, the idea that it's exotic.
What is exotic?
The exotic,
I don't know.
the exotic
Anything
outsider.
about a person is exotic.
Oh, right, but yes, the unknown is always attractive. That's, yeah.
Like an American accent has always fascinated me is like the Harvard Yale accent. Like
But- but what I'm saying is
the
that-
tough American accent
the-
is like, oh yes, we've been
The
to
posher an American accent gets, the more British it gets. Have you noticed that?
yeah, but it's sort of like an
funny,
American
isn't it?
version of a British accent. They're trying to be.
What you're saying is Lloyd
Well, you
Grossman
know.
kind of style. When they
Who
start
lives
saying
in a-
risotto,
I mean, you watch
No,
you watch
no.
an episode of Frasier, and they almost sound English half the time.
Yes, Kelsey Grammer does.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, I know. which I find quite interesting.
Okay, so the sexiest accent in the world is definitely Welsh for a girl.
No.
Only
sorry.
for a female.
Southern Irish.
Dude, we're from Wales. It makes a big fucking difference.
South Wales.
South Wales.
Oh,
Yeah.
Cardiff lasses.
Yeah, Cardiff lasses.
You know what? I've
It's got to be said. It was while I was in Cardiff. It's the only time I've ever uttered the phrase in utter wonder. I just looked around, and going, "My God, there's so much fanny here." And to to Doc Mantis Toboggan, we use fanny for
A front bottom rather than a rear bottom.
Yes, indeed.
However, wouldn't mind sticking up a rear bottom.
that's also fine.
I mean, any bottoms, bottom.
Horses for courses, holes for poles. Done.
Yeah, but I mean, it is related. This will only take just a second, but like
That is in fact what he said.
Considering the UK is such a small landmass, do you find it fascinating that just by driving a very short distance down the motorway, the regional dialect will change enormously? And it's just like, hang on a minute. Do we not all watch the same TV?
I had this exact conversation with an Australian like 2 days ago, which is like, your accents are so broad, given the fact that you can drive 2 hours and hear someone say forceps.
Yeah. It's like,
forceps.
dude, it takes me 2 hours to get across London sometimes. How come 2 hours down the motorway and everyone's saying
It's incredible.
things totally different?
It's incredible.
Maybe in the
What I
future,
find that's the amazing
history.
It will become diminished. Maybe it'll diminish in years to come. But that basically says to me that no one leaves their village.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let's narrow this down. Which accents in America do you find sexy? Brooklyn accent is not sexy.
Southern drawl.
No. Californian accent is not sexy.
Oh, I don't know.
What's that? To
Oh,
say?
no.
Sorry,
When
did you say
got the-
Californian?
Yeah, no.
I mean, I think we can all agree that Bostonian, and in fact, kind of the whole New England region,
Oh, nice.
is awful.
No, I agree with Tom.
bad.
No, I don't mind it.
Oh
Okay,
God.
So where in America is sexy? Let's try and work.
So
Southern America.
Yeah.
it's
There's a
definitely
particular Southern accent that will do
that
it for me.
Texan.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan.
The New
of
Orleans accent, the slight French.
Yes.
Like,
I
what's
agree.
the word?
Yes.
I agree.
Creole?
Yeah, Creole.
Creole.
Creole
Creole
is
language.
one, and
Language.
the other one is Gambit. He's
Gambit. Yes.
Yeah,
what's that?
him.
He's New Orleans.
Cajun.
There we are. Thank you very much.
Cajun accent is.
That's sexy as fuck to us English bastards.
definitely. No, I second that.
Which is strange because it's largely based off of French, and we don't like the French.
So
Oh, but we
Cajun
like
yourself.
the French in that way.
I do.
No,
I don't mind the
love
French. I don't
as
mind
well.
the French.
I only say that because I'm English. Because
yeah.
I feel I have to.
are we saying Cajun, Kentucky, sexiness in America is directly proportional to how
Alaskan?
close it is to chicken? Is that what you're saying? Okay.
You've
crawfish,
learned
yeah.
my secret.
Not any chicken.
I have to
the
kill you.
Colonel's chicken.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, is there? I mean, I like I like that particular bit of the country. Everything I see from it, but sort of. And
What,
well,
the
okay.
South?
No, so northwest, not Dakota. Where's Portland?
Seattle. That's Oregon.
Oregon.
Dude, I cannot tell you how much I want to go to the northern California, Oregon redwood forests.
I would love to. Yeah, absolutely.
I cannot tell you how much I want to go there. I really can't.
To be fair, in North America, the only place I want to go is to Ottawa in Canada. Just because there are friends there that I've met so many times, and I've heard them speaking to me over the internet and gone...
Quick correction. So that's not in America.
Bitch.
That's in the Americas.
It's in the Americas, yes.
Doc Mantis, email the
Do an audio topic.
Yeah, do an audio topic. Tell us which college you've gone to.
And how sexy it is.
Yeah,
In your sexiest voice.
maybe persuade some of the sorority girls to sort of just say hello to us.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
potentially take a picture and send it to our webpage.
Yeah,
Of course.
was it-
None of
is
this
it
sounds in any
emails-
way awfully lechy.
This isn't predatory at all. It's a podcast.
emails at pottopicpodcast.com.
Emails at pot-
Yeah.
That's the one.
I mean, we're sitting.
How have you got that before the fucking co-host Taryn hasn't?
Photographic memory.
We're sitting here in a castle right now. You know, this is how all us Brits live. You know, we're in the greater kingdom of Lewisham.
Lewis Ham.
Lewis Hampshire.
And that's where Lewis, who was originally from the 17th,
Lewis.
the 17th century,
Everyone here is a king.
decoded the great debauchery and laid down the law to all of those podcasting greatness.
Okay, I'm almost scared to do it, but
Bjorn.
Bjorn, would you care to draw one from the pitch pot?
One from the hosts.
This is
No,
the
no.
spots.
Oh,
Can
sorry,
you just
sorry,
read
sorry.
it
No, no,
for
no.
me?
Yeah, my bad.
Switch.
One from the pitch pot, please.
Oh, it's pitch pot. Sorry.
It's pitch pot
Yes.
time.
Oh fuck! What the fuck is the skinniest shit?
They're really tiny, aren't they?
It's like a needle dick.
They're really tiny.
But it's printed, so therefore kudos points times so multiplier.
You got really out loud though.
Dead
air.
Wait,
No, there's
we
no
said at
dead
the
air.
beginning,
There's
dead
no
air.
No, there's
Let's
no dead
just
air.
pick a random person. Hang on.
Will you stop interrupting me, please?
James Blunt. 120 bottles of beer, 12 bottles of Magners, 4 bottles of vodka, 3 bottles of white wine, 2 bottles of champagne.
Baby knows how to party.
Oh, do you know?
Holy shit,
Bjorn,
James Blunt.
take it away.
I love everything about James Blunt, but his music.
You know, he's a dude. Tank commander.
I don't mind James Blunt at all. Here we go. From the pot that is apparently
Pitch pot.
Pitch pot.
pitched pot, and
Read
it's
it,
got a
you
pitch,
dick.
and I'm not sure what pitch that is. Here we go. Kids family,
Yeah.
colon, a dog's toy friends.
Dog toys friends.
A dog's toys friends.
A
No,
dog's,
a dog's toy
toy
friends.
A dog's toy friends.
So this is.
As in
Wow.
The dog has some friends that are toys.
So is this a pet version of Toy Story?
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
It can only
Topic over.
be.
Next topic.
No.
No.
But how the fuck? How does that play out?
What I was thinking was the intro music is "So no one told you life was gonna be this way," and carry on. First act.
First act is the introduction to all the dog toys. So you've got your squeaky pig.
Your dog's a joke. You're broke.
You've got that colourful knotted rope that you use.
Yeah, the knotted rope.
to I don't know. Dogs like biting it, and then people like struggling with the dog. With it. I don't understand.
One of those
that's right,
Korg puzzle toys which are filled.
Tug-o-war.
And I think maybe the
played again,
villain
it's
is
okay,
is a.
Cat scratching.
The villain's got to be the dog.
I think the villain's the dentistics,
I didn't
the
know.
pedigree dentistics.
No, the villain's a
Which
cat,
aren't
cat
toys.
scratching post.
True.
Arc tangent.
Yes, well done, Bjorn. Those were some syllables. Congratulations. So, okay. So, we got a squeaky pig. We've got, obviously, there's got to be a number of balls.
Just in various stages of decay.
Yeah.
Each telling a more terrifying story of what happens to
Well,
them.
no. The more decayed the more decayed the ball,
I am
the
more
older
loved.
it is.
Therefore,
And
the
the
more
wiser
stories it has,
Exactly.
and
I remember
therefore,
the day the dog spent a month.
we can, you know, if we were to take all of its essence and streamline it into a sequential.
Oh God, he's just
box,
saying words again.
then that box will turn into maximum effect, and that effect will turn into dog toys.
Wicked. So I'm thinking maybe like the dog's toys leave it in they call it a bullriarchy. Like the balls are they control everything.
Well, there's actually a really important question, Sharon, that
Because
you
the
haven't
dogs
considered.
don't have any.
There's a very important question, Sharon, that you haven't considered. It is either the fact that we are describing dogs, toys, or dog stoys. Because dog stoys is very different.
How about this? Okay, so how about in the world of the dog's toys, sticks are terrorists.
Sorry, Taryn, did you say dog's toys or
Let's
dog's
not
dog's
go.
toys.
Let's not go down that route.
dog toys.
Oh no, you're right. It's a family film, isn't it?
It is a
It's
family
good.
film.
Although
Moana.
Dog's toys. Taryn, did you say dog's toys? Yeah.
No, dogs' toys.
Dog's
Dog's
toys.
toys.
Let's not get away from the topic. Come on. Kids' family film, a dog's toys friends.
No S.
Dog's toy friends.
dog stoys.
So who are the friends of the dog's toy? We got to work that out first.
Or it'd be all the other dogs' toys.
Maybe it's an allegory of it's all the toys in the pet store, and like maybe a tennis ball got left, and it's telling the tale of
The unwanted need.
Is the dog the villain and the humans are the heroes because they throw the toys and they finally freedom?
No, the dog got me.
Exactly. So
really,
is the frisbee like their version of an angel because they're flying through the air?
So can we attempt a first act?
yeah, this is the thing. I'm having
Act one
difficulty coming
takes
up with a
place in the
story.
pet store.
Well-
You're introduced to a new toy.
I mean, can we imagine that toy is being
Has anyone
used
seen
as a
Sausage
verb?
Party?
Can we think of the most unwanted dog's toy? Maybe a phone.
The most unwanted
Maybe-
dog toy is any toy that makes a noise because it's fun for 2 minutes until the dog is sat there
during
and you've
the
heard
day.
the
Heard
squeak.
nothing but.
It's
And
the
then
night
most
time,
people
and
take-
I want to sleep. And they've got a squeaky toy, which is debilitatingly
But
annoying.
most people then take a pair of pliers and then pull the squeaker out the toy and then give it back to the dog, and the dog's sort of there confused, going like, "I'm gonna kill it." Oh, it's not making a noise. Oh, it's dead.
That's why you're a maker.
Just gaffer the mouth shut, and then just tie it to the door.
What of the dog?
Of the dog, yeah.
Yeah, and then it will not wake you up.
It's not a crocodile.
So I think the story here is that all the dog's toys want to escape the dog, and they love the humans.
I agree.
And so it's all about it's all about kind of all the dog's toys rally behind one toy that seems like it's the one most likely to escape the maulings.
Oh! It is the stick you get now with the tennis balls that you can launch them further. That is the hero of the story because
Oh, yeah, he's their savior.
yeah, he comes and launches the ball further. End of story.
Oh, okay. So is this almost like a retelling of the Passion of the Christ,
Oh, dude.
where the the toy stick is Christ,
Yes.
and
And the stick is called Gibson.
and yeah, it's I suppose the story, like the moral at the center of the story, is that you're never going to escape and you're all doomed.
Yep.
And that religion will never help you, and you know Christ is a lie. But it's all told through dog toy story.
But it's a family film.
Yeah, exactly. So you package it towards children, obviously with some nod and wink jokes about the fact that the dogs they don't say it explicitly, but it's like some dogs aren't happy about the fact that they're shagged by the dog.
You're gonna point your package towards children.
What?
Is that what you're saying?
No, it's a kid's family film.
Which is why I was questioning your rhetoric.
So I think so. Essentially, the throw stick is the hero of the story.
Yeah.
But
Throw
it's-
stick gets broken. Throw stick gets repaired. That is Act 1, Act 2, and Act 3. Balls escape. End of story.
Okay.
okay. Or also, it follows the ball that is thrown too far and the dog never finds it.
In the long
Oh,
grass.
and it's a really bleak children family
So-
film because that ball
Okay,
does
yes,
escape. It finally
yes.
escapes.
But
In the third act is it realizing it's now all alone
It
and
needs
going
the dog.
nowhere. It
Actually-
needs the dog.
And the real world is much, much, much worse.
yes, exactly.
yeah.
For all the pain and the suffering and the gnawing, at least it had a purpose.
It's like the Truman Show.
Yep.
I would love to see the.
Yay, I'm free. Now I have to work and pay tax.
I'm just about to say I would love to see the Truman Show too. Like,
Oh, I
No.
completely. I'm with you.
Like, get Jim Carrey now. So set it like whenever Truman Show finished.
yeah.
Like, set it now. So you get older Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
And it's basically.
He's been
him-
living in the real world
Yeah.
for 20 years.
Yeah, he's been living in the world for this amount of time.
And he just wants to go back.
Yeah.
And then he sneaks back in.
Have we?
And
hang
they
on.
catch him.
Wait. Have we stepped away from the topic though?
Not really, but I'm thinking because like thinking about it, the message of this film is actually quite bleak. Like the second you're thrown away and you finally escape, you realise everything's terrible. I've got a feeling this is a very conservative. This is almost like a film made by fascists for children, saying, "Look, the second you escape, there's nothing out there.
Don't
It's
question
all terrible."
reality. Don't
So-
fight for more.
so-
if you do, it'll be bleak.
Yeah.
Come back into
Exactly.
the fold.
That green grass is all
Exactly.
bullshit.
Accept your position. You were born into it. You're a caste, basically.
So it's a fascist fable.
There we are.
All right, wicked.
So
Love
it's
it.
Brave New World for children.
Exactly right.
Oh,
the savage bull goes outside.
That is possibly the most dark image I have ever thought of.
It's a children's version of Brave New World.
Oh, and at the end,
End of topic.
at the end, he's hanging by the dog lead when the helicopter comes.
Okay, that's
All right, Tom, I believe you got something from the Hot Pot.
I have one from the hosts. So this is from me.
Hello.
Living with 4 people that have long hair.
I live with one person that has long hair.
How painful is that? Imagine it multiplied by 4.
You used to have long
You
hair.
people molt. Yeah,
I anticipate
no,
the shower as a sore spot.
I didn't molt
Yeah.
as much as you motherfuckers did.
A sore spot or a sauce pot? I didn't understand.
I said sauce pot because it's a pot that is devilishly saucy.
Crying out loud. So, Tom, I completely understand where you're coming from.
No, you don't. You
No,
still
I do,
molt.
because I unblocked this sink drain
Today?
No, well, no, it was about a month ago now. But I realised that
You
the
should have done
bathroom
it
sink.
today.
Fuck you! I cleaned the bathroom today. Go
No,
fuck yourself.
That's why I thought it was today, to be fair.
No, it was about a month ago because I noticed that the bathroom sink was draining very, very slowly. So okay, cool. It's just time to take that thing off. It should be nice and easy because it usually is. There's a nice mechanism that makes it easy.
I just
but
don't
the hair
understand how you
Long.
people molt so much.
and still have hair. Yeah, I know. It surprises me as well.
I'm there
remember.
and I'm at work and I'm constantly pulling hairs off of me that don't belong to
okay,
me.
but we shed skin all the time. We still have skin.
But I'm not covered in it.
I remember.
Well, I probably am, but it's not noticeable.
Well, you are covered in skin.
Yeah, mate.
I remember a time at uni when I had long hair and 2 of my cohorts had long hair too, and I remember going on the carpet and then literally doing a circular motion like this, and something 4 feet away moved. Because it was all interconnected somehow, and it's amazing how much you molt really, and you just don't think about it like you were saying. Like,
I'll be honest.
how are
like,
we not bald?
I used to go out with a girl that would do that shower thing where she just makes a clump of hair on the side of a shower.
And then leaves it there for you later.
Because she'd shower and then move it
You're
up
welcome.
the wall into the clump of hair that's there.
Oh God, that's
It's grim.
awful.
Just
At
put
least
it
it's
in the
contained,
bin.
though, because I'm still finding hairs on myself when I go to work that are from my girlfriend who hasn't been here for 3 months.
Although it's got to be said, it took me going to university for all of a month. To be fair, it was only a month, but it took me going to university for someone to point out that, like, I will leave the bar. I will leave the shower in a state. I hadn't noticed it until someone said, yeah. So like once you're done, can you just like sort the hairs out? I'm like, oh, what hairs? I was like, these hairs. Oh, and it's kind of that moment of, was it Daddy Daycare with I can't
That hench bloke,
the dude who did Beverly
Vin
Hills
Diesel.
Cop.
no.
Oh,
Eddie
Eddie
Murphy.
Murphy.
Yeah, is that moment of walking in after a child's walked out of the toilet and there's just piss everywhere. You just look, you go, and then like the second she pointed it out, it's like, oh shit, I do clearly more. So it's now something I try to take care of.
To be fair, like, this house is not the worst I've ever lived in.
It's
for
really
that.
not.
However, fuck all of you, because I'm covered in your hair constantly.
Do you know what? It's. I don't know if you ever experienced it when you had long hair, but living with the long hair that you have on you can sometimes be more of an issue. Because every now and then, like I'll be going about my day, and then I realise, I've got irritation. I've got a massive irritation, and it's like, okay, cool. So it's all right. I've probably just got a hair that's got tangled up down next to my arse, and as I pull it out, it somehow manages to create a knot around my balloon knot that, as I pull it, it constricts. And it starts like cheese grating, sort of cheese wiring my anus.
This is a little bit nasty, but the amount of times I've wiped my arse and found one of your fuckers' hairs on the toilet paper is incredible. It happens like 9, maybe 1 time out of 10.
Yeah.
Tom, there is a Tate Modern exhibition. keep those.
Also,
I'm going to be rich.
12 months would be wonderful.
I don't have this so much anymore, but Johnny, Taryn, you may feel differently, but I always found that after a shower there'd be several long hairs right down in my arse crack.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah, and that's obviously a natural place for it because it's
But
obviously.
I
down.
don't have long hair. I haven't had long hair for near on a decade.
But Tom, you live with people who do.
Yeah, where the fuck... I swear you cunts are rubbing your the foreheads
Foreskin.
against my arsehole every night.
It's got to be. I think one of the most staggering
That's
things.
why you need a 3D camera.
One of the most staggering things that's ever happened to me with my long hair is, again, it was another irritation. But once I finally fished it out, and it was painful to remove. But what had happened is one of my hairs, obviously, as I'd washed my hair, like hair will just drift down with the water, go down your back, and as you dry, like you don't catch it. But during the day, you're caught with this irritation, and what I found was the hair had knotted around a single hair next to my bum and a single hair on my scrotum. So as I moved, it was like this double header of agony. Yes, I can see you holding up a hair that you found on you, Tom. I don't know what to do.
Incoming news.
Hair
I've
watch.
just rubbed my leg and pulled out a hair that is at least 6 inches long. Fuck off. Just go away from me.
I'm sorry, it happens. I have no control over it. This isn't something I do vindictively. This is something I do by course of nature.
That one was curly and very thin, so it's not Kimmy, it's definitely you. Right, so we are actually coming up to the end of the podcast, so let's just do... actually, we are at 2 hours.
Oh, I mean, I've just pulled this, and I think we need to do this.
Okay, let's do this. So this is one from Community.
Let's do it concisely, shall we?
This is Kiwi Dave. So, how's it going,
Dan.
Dan? He asks, least erotic sex toy.
Least erotic sex toy.
Theresa May blow up doll.
Now, obviously...
That's pretty good.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
Now, obviously...
Or, like, whatever they're called, living doll or...
Living doll.
Obviously, this is all a matter of
Real doll.
perspective and personal flavour. However, I've seen adverts recently for a sex toy which basically caters for the fetish that some people obviously have, wherein they want to be impregnated by aliens. So it's an alien-looking dildo that's flexible through which you can push an egg.
Oh, ouch.
That sounds brilliant.
You pop that in you and then force out the egg, and you've just been impregnated by an alien. Now, I personally find that deeply unerotic. But for a certain person, that's obviously heaven.
Do
To
you
be honest,
then,
don't
like-
yucky yum. Don't yucky
Can't
yum.
yucky yum.
I'm gonna.
That is fair enough.
I'm gonna say, like, on the egg theme, Tenga eggs are like the least erotic sex toy ever.
Tenga?
Tenga eggs.
The one you said.
The one that I've reviewed on this podcast with a video.
The one that's over on the shelf.
Go look it on YouTube.
Currently wrapped around an empty bottle of
Yeah,
Nanny
there
State.
it is. Nanny State over there. So that is probably, I'm going to say, the least erotic sex toy.
Or-
However,
Have you seen the rubber fist?
oh yeah, no, Belladonna's
Everyone's seen
fist.
the
No,
rubber
everyone's seen
fist.
that.
That's not erotic.
I'm going to say also the least erotic sex toy, probably second place to the Tenga egg, is the dragon dicks.
Yeah.
The idea of like dragon cocks almost being like a imagine a dog dick kind of Red Rocket style thing with scales.
I mean that's the
Yeah.
thing. They're also horse dick and dog dick dildos.
Yeah. What about
Which-
the ones that, like, you can then fill them with... I assume...
With custard cream.
Yeah, custard cream or something, and it's basically an ejaculating dildo.
And
So basically, you can sit there, ride the dildo
glucose
to
rich
when you're
and
about to...
sweet to the tongue.
to be fair, all male sex toys are pretty unerotic.
It's true, isn't it?
Yeah.
Male sex, we've been let down. Like women have like phalluses at least.
They're
Like they're
genuinely.
phallic in nature.
Yeah.
I think
in nature, running the fjords.
I think there's a certain tendency with male sex
Running the
toys.
fjords.
I think there's a certain tendency with male sex toys to err towards the practical.
There is one called the Monkey Spank, which is literally like
A monkey with a spank.
Imagine the thing you dip into fairy liquid to blow bubbles. That kind of thing, but then it's
with a
got
silicone membrane.
a diaphragm
Yeah.
thing on it. That's not sexy.
No, it's really
It's
not.
just functional.
Yeah, I think for me anyway, I think they tend to be remarkable.
Hang on.
The fleshlight, the king of all male sex toys, is literally disguised to hide
as
itself
a
away.
torch.
That's a giant torch.
There's nothing least sexy than a torch.
Or a beer can, because...
Yeah, can.
But then a good old
Jamaican sex toy.
A good old fashioned wand on a captive cable is I think pretty dismal looking.
We've been let down as males.
Yeah. But also you kind of run into the issue that because, like, if you use this toy, because you start associating it with pleasure, as you spend more time with it,
And start loving it.
becomes more erotic.
And
because,
you start loving it.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
I'm sure people fall in
You
love
better
with
start
it.
loving it before you finish.
Saying female sex toys are probably easier to clean as well.
Female ones. Oh, as opposed to male orientated ones, which is basically like a
Cum catcher.
fake fanny, a cum catcher, a cum dumpster.
Yeah.
And basically it's like a big orifice that you.
I mean, I will go ahead and say, like, none of the sex toys I use for myself catch cum.
No, they're more pokey up your bum.
Yeah.
They are indeed absolutely pokey up your bum.
Oh,
Yum.
Yeah,
That's the thing, like, and I think
Really?
that's why
Yeah.
Tenga probably cornered the market, because the fleshlight is sort of like, you've got to clean it afterwards.
There's a lot of ordeal involved with that. Yeah. The Tenga is a one-use throwaway product.
Yeah, which I don't know. There's some.
Leave
and
it
to
to
me,
the
there's something
Japanese to
weird
make
about
it
that.
just...
That's a
useful.
thing that was designed for a vending machine, essentially.
Yes. Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
like, you go to the vending machine, you go like, I want D7, and then the Tenga egg drops into the...
You know what? An extra 50p, I'll have some dirty kiddie underwear as well. And then...
No, okay, I've got it. Have you seen the have you seen the sex toys that are basically giant tongues?
No.
And they're supposed to simulate being licked out.
Are we talking like the chainsaw tongue?
What's the chainsaw? Hang on, wait.
Go on.
I'm pretty sure I can extrapolate what that looks. So, are we talking like a chainsaw belt, but it's got tongues instead of blades?
Yes. So this was on like... this is something I found on YouTube that was from like...
YouTube. Fucking
No,
X-Hamster or RedTube
No,
at least.
this was YouTube, because
Yeah.
it was like, when I first saw it was on the Howard Stern show. And Howard Stern basically had this woman there, and he was explaining, like, and they were explaining how, like, oh yeah, and then this section here self-lubricates the tongues and stuff, because it's got like a little hopper for lubricant.
Oh, so it goes round.
Literally,
When it gets round,
it gets lubricated, and then
it gets licked up with the lube.
Yeah.
So every time it goes on a full cycle, it gets lubed, back,
Yeah, literally.
post gobble up, drip back.
each tongue licks the lube, and then licks the lady parts, and then
The
continues.
unmentionable item.
I need to see this.
I'm sorry,
I need
all
to see
I'm
this.
seeing in my head is like
On an actual
Warhammer
chains-
40k style chainsword.
Pretty
It's
much.
so dark.
Replace like,
Heathen! Heretic!
I mean, it changes the nature of the war of orcs, doesn't it?
Feel the warp.
And in that world, the power fist becomes something very, very different.
Oh god. Right, we need to end this podcast.
Well, that's the line. They say we start making 40k jokes, we're done.
Yeah, we are fucking dumb, mate. Oh god.
Oh, dear
Well,
me.
I've got to say, like, if you manage to listen through that,
Well done.
well done to you, mate. Because
I've got.
go
yeah.
on. What were you going to say, Dom? Go on.
I was going to say, on the basis of this episode, I've decided, Captain Sickbeard, myself, to start the Pod Topic Podcast Patreon page. for £1 or however they do their monetary thing, you could supply us with whiskey and maybe get Bjorn back on the show for more of the jollities that we've had on this episode. So, give to Patreon $1 for maybe some new microphones, because
I need
5
them.
guys, 3 mics, however you want to take that.
Dude, I'm gonna give you 2 more next week.
Cool.
So, yeah.
We're launching our Patreon based on this episode. Fuck it. Shall we? I know this is a joke, but should we actually fucking do it? Because that'd be fucking hilarious. We'll get nothing.
For whatever is the £100 equivalent in dollars, Captain Sickbeard, myself, Sink Dante, Stealth Inferno, will build you something.
There we go.
Whatever you want, as long as it's probably not sexual. Although,
No. Preferably sexual.
yeah, probably sexual. If you want some sort of BDSM love swing, why not?
If you want a cast iron monkey spank,
I've got a disused seatbelt.
So the £100 Patreon, there will only be one of these. But yes, I will build you whatever the fuck you want.
oh, that's it. There are 2 bands. So you can either give us like
Enough for some
pound
whiskey
a
and
month,
microwave.
or if you give us £100 a month, cast iron monkey spank. Done.
There we go.
Perfect. Okay, so wrapping up this podcast, does anyone have anything to plug?
Did you
Shall I
say
go
wrapping it
first?
up? Did you say wrapping it
Does
up?
anyone have anything to plug? Are you
so the
serious?
podcast is coming to a close, and we are gonna go and pick a rose, and that rose is gonna be beautiful, and we are gonna go and fall down the shoal.
I need a surrender flag.
You did say let's wrap it up. I'm sorry, dude. I'm just taking things literally. You know what I mean?
So, does anyone have anything to plug? I'm going to go first.
Yeah,
because I
go
have
for
a great
it.
one, actually, for you. Right there, Dom.
Okay.
So, you've hit your podcast entropy. I have a new podcast for you. It's Ear Hustle. I've binged it in the last week. It is a podcast produced, written, and put out by the inmates of San Quentin prison in America.
Fuck.
It is so good.
And
It goes
it's
through
them
things-
talking about actual life in prison.
Yeah, no, it goes from like the differences between, well, every episode is the differences between what your Hollywood perception of what being in prison would be and what the reality actually is. And it goes from subjects such as race politics, which is just known as politics in prison, which is incredible. And then also like keeping pets.
Oh.
Or like
Intrusive.
fashion, or like the idea of growing old in they did an amazing episode recently that was about solitary confinement and what it does to the human psyche, and it was just like fucking incredible. So Ear Hustle, it's on the same network as Mortified podcast,
Was it?
Radiotopia.
Okay, cool.
An incredible set of
So
podcasts
Radiolab.
they all put out. Again, the Mortified podcast is awesome. So,
I'll be putting that on in a minute.
dude, both of those, do it. Anyway, anyone else?
Cool. I'll do my usual. Plug the book. You can find my book, Walking Out, a novella. Walking Out. It's on Amazon Kindle. Just do a search for Walking Out, and you'll find it. It's by me, Taron Wilmore. Just because I always do. There's the Facebook page, which hasn't been updated. Although I thought about it recently, but then I didn't.
Just do it.
Getting close. I have nothing to say.
Just even if it's just like, I had a bowl of cereal today.
Well, no, that's what a Facebook.
Hurt myself.
You know people that are in charge of creating content.
Yeah.
That is what that is. It's creating content when there is none.
Yeah.
That's basically mostly what they do. You need to keep creating nothing.
Yeah.
So, what is your Facebook
But
page?
you can find my Facebook page at facebook.com/Townwall Books. That's TAINWILMRE Books. And also, quick plug, they don't need plugging, but you should probably listen to it. The Crack Gets Personal podcast is fucking amazing. It's
you told me about this
yeah,
today.
this is crack.com. So they have a segment, the sort of the personal experiences segment, which blends actual journalism and comedy. And the podcast is them going more in depth into certain topics. So I mean, they start off with like things that have doctors have seen in emergency rooms. But from there, they go into the opiate epidemic. I've just listened to one. I've just listened to one that is all about actually how like Class A drugs can help. But there's another one on female soldiers and the culture of sexual harassment they have to face. And then the last one I listened to was about how cops are shooting too many dogs. So it runs the gamut.
What was that again?
Cracked Gets Personal.
Okay.
Listen to it.
Yeah,
it's all fucking amazing.
Three podcasts for you to listen to.
Yeah, it's done by Robert Evans, who does the personal experience. And this dude has been all over the world for Cracked, weirdly enough. And also Brandon Johnson, who does the voice of the head teacher from Rick and Morty and a whole bunch of other stuff. It's funny, it's informative, and it's kind of amazing.
Perfect. Unlike this podcast.
Does he actually have chlorophobia?
Oh, do yourself a favour, Tom.
Fuck off. Dom, have you got anything to
me,
plug?
I'm going to plug myself. Sneak Dante on Instagram and Choose the Moon on Facebook at the moment.
Okay. I hadn't heard that one.
That's because of my tattoo on my arm. But that will probably change to Sneak Dante Stealth Inferno. At some point, I will build a website for Sneak Dante Stealth Inferno.
I'll give you a hand because I feel obliged at this point.
because I've been looking at Squarespace at the moment and I've started
Oh,
that.
no. Fuck that shit off.
Yeah.
They ain't paying us.
This episode is sponsored by... No, it's not.
If you do want to pay us, I'll build it on Squarespace,
Yeah.
by the way. Squarespace.
So Sneak Dante, Sneak Inferno. Look for it online, and at some point, I'd quite like to go into like the YouTube thingy.
Excellent.
Wicked.
Right, cool. Bjorn?
Yeah.
Thank you for that. I'm going to take this opportunity as well to just follow on from you there and also plug myself. Here we go.
US standard 3-pin plug.
There we are. Lovely.
There you go. You plugged yourself. Nice.
Very nice. That was very enjoyable, and I intend to enjoy this for many moments more. But in the meantime, I'm going to pass up after my very esteemed colleague Jonny Day.
Hello. I guess I'll plug the same thing that I plugged last time. The EP for my band, This Living Hand, we're about to sign up with CD Baby and release it on iTunes and Spotify and everything else.
Oh, cool.
So
Amazing.
that should be hopefully within the month. And then it will be available for you at a very reasonable price.
Amazon Music.
It's very,
I mean,
it's
everything. I think they do everything. CD Baby does
It's
everything.
nice. It's nice prog.
They take a decent cut, but they will distribute it forever. There's no limit, so it's
Fair
nice.
enough.
But yes,
Excellent.
thank you for it's decent prog. I can see that in
we
quotes
listen to
and
some
large
tonight?
embossed lettering.
Amazing.
Also, Johnny, like, what's your poetry page?
That's amazing.
Oh, okay. My poetry page is thatcrippledspace.wordpress.com. That hasn't been updated recently, but there's still a lot of stuff on there. So yes, please go and check that out as well.
Okay. So, cue the music.
Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
Not that music. Share and tell a friend. It's the only way we're going to get more listeners. Search Pot Topic Podcast on all your social medias. Come join us. Come talk with us. Come interact with us. If you want to send us an email, then send it to emails@podtopicpodcast.com. That's also where you send all your audio topics that we need some of, and we forgot this fucking podcast we've got 2 of.
Yes,
Shit.
but one of them is me.
One of them's you and one of them's Kai. So we will do that next issue, but please send in some more audio topics to
Mantis.
emails@podtopicpodcast.com. Doc Mantis, do it. Go on, mate.
Go on. I want to know what
Go on,
college
mate.
you're going to.
And Rickard, we haven't heard from you this
'Cause-
podcast, so let's do it.
If we get enough Patreon money, we'll come to your college and do an event.
I will butt fuck you. And rate and review us on iTunes and Stitcher, 5 stars, bitches. Like the video on YouTube if that's how you prefer to listeners. And Taron,
Quick shout out to Orangafruüp with 2 U's and an umlaut for the use of their track Trippples with 3 P's. You can find Trippples with 3 P's on Orangafruüp with 2 U's and an umlaut self-titled album, Orangafruüp with 2 U's and an umlaut. You can go find it on Bandcamp. And go buy it, enjoy it, love it. They deserve your money. They're all good.
they are very good.
Taryn, could you remind me, how many P's does it have in it again?
3 P's.
Thank you for that. I was writing that down. I wasn't quite sure.
Okay, cool. And of course, thank you all for listening. Oh God, saints preserve you. Thank you for listening. I'm sorry. And of course, thank you all the hosts for joining me this evening. Can I get a resounding Avashti?
Tasty Shapida.
Did we just record?
Tasty
That was the most unlistenable podcast ever.
Tasty Shapida.
Check. Chaps and ham.
All right. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh, I love the sound of my own voice.
So, what do you what provisions do you have for dynamics, etc.? Because you need to have some headroom for when people just
Turn up. You're looking at my mic collection.
fly off the handle. But you need, you don't want it to just peak and distort and all that shit. To be honest, you've done loads of these fucking. I'll shut up.
I've done loads of these not knowing what I'm doing.
Tom, you know what you're doing.
Aww.
Well, he's known a little bit more each time. It's all added up.
It took me 50...
It's just a shame we don't have anything to do with it.
It took me 50 episodes before I knew what gain staging meant.